But don't. Let's go.
Yo.
He's going on right now, dude. So we got to mute.
10-4.
And next up, we have the Experian Boost Cow.
It reminds us we can now raise our credit score.
We got a hell of a show here. We got a packed audience here. We've got a unbelievable panel. Guys, we've got a great show for you guys, honestly. And, I just want to say, there's a lot that goes into podcasts, And just to call out real quick, Ray Martinez Jr. in the chat, he says, wow, very unprofessional. Ray, a lot of things happen when you're doing a live show. So I ask for you to please be patient and understand that we do this every week. We put a lot of time and effort into it. So to say that is really not fair to the panel and all the rest of the folks that put time into the show and are waiting. So that being said, I want to say thank you to all you guys that are here. It means so much that you guys come every week and hang out with us. We have an amazing show tonight. We've got a great list of topics, and honestly, I'm excited to get into them. I am super excited because for the first time, we are walking into what may be the first turn of the big corner for Xbox with the huge Xbox games event coming up in July. And me, for one, I got to tell you, I'm kind of giddy. I'm excited. But first, let me say this much. I want to say thank you so much to the Mooch Maniacs that are out there. And let me thank every one of them individually. Sir X-Man, thank you so much. Masso1977, Midway Monster, JudaZuk, WoolleyGamer, Raguram Sellakkannu, Ben Link, our major Mooch Maniacs, Lucifer, Brian B, a.k.a. Delirium Blades, VIP Mooch Maniacs, Rated D Demonic, The Great Biggie 2316, Doggy Dog 420, and Percolator 9000. And honestly, we've got some great honorable mentions. Rich Kreischer, who was with us last week, he's not in the Mooch Maniac list, but guess what? He is an honorable mention. The great Wilmy Hood, who has done so much for the Mooch. I can't say thank you to Wilmy so much. Every week he's an honorable mention. And forever Mooch Maniac, long shot 316, who will forever be in our hearts and our memories. I appreciate that so much. Guys, let me get into this panel. It's going to be great. And I promise you, nothing but greatness and fireworks. Let me start with the one and only. You guys know him as a Crap Gamer. Crap, how the hell are you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good, man. Appreciate it. Lots of cool stuff to talk about. And, I'm excited. Let's go.
Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. And then I've got somebody here who, believe it or not, is usually the Xbox Defense Force. And I'm not sure if necessarily he's going to have to use his degree tonight. Because maybe it'll be all offense for him. Xbox 448. Buddy, how you doing tonight?
This is preposterous. It's egregious. What's going on, everybody? Guys, 4 days away from July, man. I am getting really excited. I'm gonna sit back and let people kind of go crazy, and I'm just gonna sit back and wait for that awesomeness that's gonna be the Xbox show in July. Let's go, man.
Absolutely, buddy. And let me just say, Gaming Forte will be joining us later. Gaming Forte had to work a little harder tonight, a little extra, and he's doing that for you guys. So Forte will be joining us later on. But let me get to some of our special guests here. You guys know him as Woo! He comes in from Brap. It's Basement Radio Arcade Podcast. Brap, how the hell are you doing tonight? He's muted, though.
Woo! Sorry about that.
I knew it.
I was like, I forgot that I muted myself. I was going, woo! I'm like, no one's hearing me. But no, great to be here, Mooch. And I just want to say, I just finished the Game of the Generation.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous.
Yeah, big shout out to Naughty Dog. I can't even say enough about this game. I can't wait to do a spoiler cast.
I thought you were finally going to play Godzilla for the PS4, man. That's what I thought you were leading up to right there.
I thought about an Xbox, but I was waiting for that, I don't know. I was waiting for you to gift it to me. So we'll see, man.
That can happen, by the way.
Now we can't get into those topics already. Enrique jumped right to topic 3, which is fine. I can't blame him. He's very excited. But nonetheless,
I gotta tease the audience. It's like foreplay.
But I got my buddy here. He is on fire right now. I don't know. I made 1 video in the past week. He's made 5. It's Slow-Mo Backslap. Slow-Mo, welcome to the show, buddy. And I'm absolutely adoring your YouTube content, buddy. How are you tonight?
I've made 5 videos?
Well, I slightly embellished, but that was for your gain. It was for your gain.
Man. Well, look, I was about to say, damn. Was there something I made? I didn't even realize.
It was the collaboration with Forte. You know, I count all of them.
Hey, you know what? That probably was it. Yeah, I have been pretty busy. I need to kind of, I don't know, man. Like it's been pretty wild, but I'm enjoying myself and I'm enjoying this panel, you guys, and the chat and everything, and these topics. I think they might get a little spicy. See, let's see what happens.
This is true. We're getting a little spicy on a Friday, but that's okay.
People.
You know, maybe Friday was the wrong time to do CrossFire. We should have done it on Monday. Nonetheless, I've got the man from New York. He's out there. He's doing shifts when you're sleeping. He's working. Then he plays games. He knows what he's talking about. It's the Noximus Knox. Welcome back to the show, buddy. How you doing tonight?
Always a pleasure to be here, Mooch. I'm fantastic, my brother. I can't wait. It's an awesome freaking panel. Awesome chat, like always, man. Let's just get into it. Let's get this popping, baby.
Let me do that, buddy. Let's go first and foremost. I do want to start in on Halo, guys. I want to talk about Halo because Halo just recently, on Twitter, and Xbot, you know I'm coming to you first here on this. Halo just recently put out the distress. It was a distress signal. It was a signal of some sort on Twitter, and literally we're at 100,000 likes. It's absolutely crushed airwaves, and people are talking about it, which means Halo's alive and well. What did you take from the, first of all, the tweet that came out? And I know you've gone back and done some more homework that you always do. What can we kind of expect from what we saw in that tweet? Is it something that old Halo fans are going to be excited for, and how do we rope in some of the newer Halo fans to be excited with this lore that's coming from the past?
Well, when it comes down to it, the signal was by a character called Atriox, and Atriox is a head of an army that kind of split off of the Covenant. All right, they are called the Banished, and it is really exciting. After Halo Wars 2, this is where Atriox was introduced. A lot of people who played that game were like, man, this is going to be insane if Atriox comes into the main Halo story and becomes kind of like that villain. And from the signal, it seems like he is taking the place. Him and his army is taking the place of the Covenant. And yes, when it comes down to it, this dude, he is cold, man. Like he was talking about watching civilization burn. He was talking about taking control of the Halo.
Yes.
It's not anything spiritual. It's not like a spiritual path like the original Covenant thought about with the Halo rings. He does not care about that at all. He just wants to kill everything. He is a bad mofo. And to have him in there, we don't know what's going on with Cortana yet. Supposedly, the UNSC lost the war with Cortana, so we still got to see what's going on there. But to have him added, there's people talking about the possibility of the flood because we're going to be on a Halo ring.
Yes.
You got Cortana out there controlling incredible technology. You don't know where she's going with that, and to put Atriox on that, dude, it's taking kind of like that the gravity of like Halo 1, 2, and 3. If this all forms out right, the gravity of Halo 1, 2, and 3, and it's at least doubling that.
Well,
what's going on in the world, man.
And I'm going to come back to you, Expo. Let me just say shout out to Doggy Dog 420 in Super Chat. He said the Super Chat's working. Who's yelling? Believe me, it was a lot of people. But nonetheless, the Mooch is yelling now. Sir X-Man says, I had a heavy mayo on my Baconator. Thanks a lot, Crap Gamer. Well, that's a great plug-in. Sir X-Man's always great at this on the show. Crap, you just heard what Xbot said. And, listen, I know you were never like the craziest Halo fan like Xbot, but you're a big fan.
I like the I like the campaigns and stuff a lot. I thought that the campaigns were always really a lot of fun. So I even like the best part. The funny part was I can remember playing Halo Wars 2 and thinking that story was much better than what they did in Halo 5. So and they used blur for the cutscenes and stuff of Halo Wars 2, and I was like, hey, Atriox is much more entertaining as a villain. But my main concern is, so we know about Atriox and who he is, but I don't think the average person, because I don't think Halo Wars 2 did very well. So
that was
the average
my
person,
thought,
Yeah, but I think overall it was good to see the excitement for it. I'm very excited to see what they go. I've heard that it's going to be a big showpiece at their July event. That's exactly what they needed to be. 5 years, and that's going to be incredible. I can't wait to see what they've come up with. I feel like for 343, this is their kind of now or never moment, and it's an exciting time to see what they can do. You know, they've got this new engine. Hopefully, they can show it off. They've got a lot of talent there. A lot of hundreds and hundreds of people working there. Maybe 1,000 people. Who knows? But it's going to be fun to see what they come up with and what they show off. It should be a showpiece for sure. I 100% have heard that and think that it's going to be something that really, really impresses. And I'm excited to see what they have.
But,
one thing I want to say real quick, Mooch, when it comes down to it, because Mooch, we've talked about this many times when it came to like Halo 5 and stuff, and people talked about the community. The Halo community, even the people that didn't buy into like Halo 5 and all that good stuff, there is a huge community out there that keeps kind of like they keep their eyes out for any type of hype, anything that's going on. Even the Halo community that didn't like get into Halo Wars 2, they would know of Atriox from like the books and everything like that has come out as well. So I think this was a good thing for them to do right off the bat, to get right to the heart of that community right there. And I think as like the marketing kind of unfolds, what they should do is they should kind of reintroduce Atriox like to the masses, to the gamers out there.
That's something they're going to have to do, because I do think Crap's point is valid. Halo Wars 2 is not something that's necessarily a household name, as much as, of course, the Halo brand itself. So they're going to have to reintroduce that character. I mean, Brap, what was your take on I think Xbot made a great case for excitement and what's coming, and then Crap made a really good case of, well, I always like the Halo story and franchise, but the direction they're going in, maybe some of the hardcore know, but the others may not. What's your take on that?
Well, I think really it depends on how they introduce Atriox. Like, if they flesh him out correctly within the story arc, I think you could make him a compelling antagonist in the game. And shameless plug, we talked about this on Brap on Wednesday. The one thing that kind of excites me about Atriox is, one, he can kill Spartans, which is kind of cool.
Kills them for fun. Kills them for fun.
Like, and I think you might agree with me, Xbox. Like, he's like the Thanos of the Halo universe potentially.
Dude, I am so excited right now.
Man. Yeah, and that's exciting. Like, I think what they need to do with this game, and the one thing that really kind of excited me about this potentially being Atriox and the Banished, is that these guys aren't like, oh my God, it's the demon. These guys are here to they're here to do damage. They're not playing around.
Yeah, no messing around, man.
Yeah, they're a little more like, I don't want to use the word mature, but they're badasses, right? Like, these guys aren't playing around. And I feel like the one thing that Halo Infinite needs to do, and this is just me coming off The Last of Us Part 2, which I know we're going to talk about later on, but the one thing that I liked about Halo 1, Halo 2 is that I cared about the characters. I cared about the story arc. I haven't felt that way about Halo in quite some time now. And Halo 5 just didn't do it for me. And the feedback that I've heard from fans. Halo 4 wasn't bad.
Well, let me throw
it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like Reach, ODST. Reach is probably I would put that as my second favorite Halo game.
Reach probably had the greatest story. Like, in one iteration, one game from beginning to end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it was that emotional impact of Reach that hit a lot of people, and I think Halo Infinite needs to do this. I think if they introduce Atriox and the Banished, I think they need to put Master Chief in a position we haven't seen him in. Like, he needs to take a loss here. He needs to either get his ass kicked like Thanos did the Hulk. Something dramatic, I think, needs to happen. It just can't be, Master Chief.
Can they move right past 5 and go from 4 basically into this new story, and almost like 5 didn't happen? They have to.
They have to address what happened in the story of Guardians, and unfortunately, that story wasn't all that great. But I do agree with the rest of the panel here that introducing Atriox and the Banished is a great idea. He's a very strong villain. And anyone who's played Halo Wars 2, and I know it's not a lot of people, but then again, there really aren't a lot of people who are like big hype for Halo anymore now, except for like really the hardcore audience. If you think about it, like the younger generation is not really their bag. So this is kind of really reintroducing Halo to a bigger audience. They're supposed to be doing different things with it to kind of make it more appealing as well. I'm excited because I like Atriox. I mean, like, if anyone has seen him take on 3 Spartans solo, kill one of them, and make the other 2 turn tail and run, like, this is a guy that can handle. He can handle his business. Like, he's a guy that you could realistically see, like, Master Chief having an issue with.
Right?
Kill Master Chief.
I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying like to Enrique's point, that the Master Chief has always come out on top.
Well, let me say this much.
Throughout the main series.
Slow-mo and Brap just kind of gave a great lead in here, and one of our other guests is he can only stay for so long. He's working, but the great gaming addict is here. Addict, I do have to say that I did check out your video, and you were very clear to say that Atriox has defeated Spartans in the past. They were not tier 1, say, Spartans. But is this the case where maybe they will do something where Atriox puts a hurt on the Master Chief in the beginning of the game, and then we kind of rebuild and have that if you will, gladiator ending at the end of Halo Infinite?
Incredible Hulk in the Avengers almost.
In Halo Wars 2 at the beginning, obviously, if your peoples ain't played that game by now, they ain't playing it. The first scene you see of Atriox, 3 Spartans, not 1, 3. They're patrolling kind of a dark corridor, and then Atriox is in the middle, but it's so dark you can't see him. He turns on his hammer because he's got a special gravity hammer that glows red, and he defeats all 3 of them, and he almost kills one of them. And he is pretty much like, there's a thing in Halo called headhunters. Now, what they are, they're Spartans that have one purpose and one purpose only. They are to drop behind enemy lines and kill their target. It's pretty much suicide missions. That's where Atriox's roots are.
So I was asking the guys, Gaming Addict, let me ask you a question, though. Why can't they sidestep where we left off in 5? Because Halo Wars 2 doesn't necessarily, with Atriox and his story in the Banished, does that coincide enough with 5 to where it has to?
If you go to the end of the game,
6 months after Halo 5.
It links it all back together again.
Okay.
Halo Wars 2 is 6 months after Halo 5.
Okay, I haven't played Halo Wars 2, so that's a shame on me. I beat Halo 5 and not play Halo Wars 2.
What pretty much happened is Halo Wars 1, their ship was too damaged, so they all went cryo. They all cryo slept, and it took 28 years to repair it. And when 28 years went up, that's when Halo 5's they're waking up. They've won the war. They don't know any of this, and that's what's going on there. And the place that it takes place at, I'm pretty sure it's the Ark. The Ark that Earth connects to, because when all that happened, they shut down the portal for the Ark. And they go there and they meet this AI called Isabel, and everyone's dead. It's like it's pretty much like a huge installation that people are working. They're all dead, and he's like, well, what happened here? And he's like, when the portals went down, he showed up 6 months later, and she says Atriox. The Covenant pretty much, they hated his whole group, and they would send them into pretty much the back lines, the front lines, and they were suicide missions. They would send them 40 at a time, but the only one to ever come back was Atriox. Okay. And he came back a certain amount of times, and he just started like, yo, this isn't how life should be. And he revolted against it.
Yep.
And since he was so famous for coming back from these suicide missions, so many people was like, I'm with Atriox. And it pretty much split some of the Covenant in half.
Yeah, they joined him in exile.
It was a civil war.
Yeah. Can I just say something real quick? Just address somebody in the live chat. Hyperlight Drifter says Atriox is just another brute, though. Sounds weak. He's not just another brute.
He's not.
I mean,
you don't know what you're talking about if you're saying
twice the size of brutes.
Yeah, exactly. And he's killed Spartans. I mean, and what Addict said, which is actually I think which is great. If you look back at the Covenant, it's almost like a religious sect. He came in there and he broke that up. So he just isn't another brute. I mean, this guy is a figurehead who basically started an eternal, battle internally with the Covenant.
And so, Isabel tells the people at Spirit of Fire that during the war, when we were fighting the humankind, you're sure the Covenant's fighting the humans. We all know this, but what you didn't know is on the other side of the universe, the Covenant's fighting the Banished. And she says in that trailer, she says, they almost defeated us, and they showed Atriox as like him. They didn't even come close because he knows their tactics. He's been trained in everything they do. He knows all their equipment. He keeps raiding their supply stations and taking all their shit. Like he's
now he's about to take it all because he's like, yo, Attic, what do you think? Like he's gonna take the place of the Covenant. Like the Banished is gonna take
I
that
think
place.
that in this game, the Banished and the Old Covenant are going to come together.
Yeah, like he's gonna bring them under him, and that is gonna be
because if you remember in Halo 5, there's still a huge amount of forces that's still left from the old regime of the Covenant, and the Arbiter was fighting them.
Well, let me say this much: Xbox, you had mentioned something before the show started, and I said, "Please save it." I didn't even want to hear it. I said, "Wait for the show." And you said, I don't know if I necessarily want it to go this way, but I got to hear what your prediction may be.
And guys, when you hear these words come out of my mouth, I know there's going to be a thought automatically right after that, but I want you to reserve that real quick because Phil Spencer came out his most recent interview, and I thought interesting was he pointed out Bungie and how Bungie is pushing forward with Destiny 2, right?
Yeah.
Showing, giving kind of like the roadmap there. This guy doesn't say things just on a whim. Like I feel like what's going to happen with this Halo Infinite when it comes out, you're gonna have a beginning, middle, and end. Yeah, definitely. Within that.
Well, that's good because I was worried that it wouldn't have an end. Go ahead.
Well, it's gonna continue through other kind of like iterations. The next Halo after that.
That's fine.
And what Halo 1, 2, and 3 did basically. But the thing that I'm seeing here is with that roadmap, I'm seeing them add more campaign content along the way as well when it comes to Halo Infinite. Like, yeah, you get to the
you're talking about expansions.
If you remember,
I'm talking about free expansions. Like that's going to be the difference there.
If you remember, there was leaks a long time, like a couple months ago, about Halo, and one of the leaks was there 20 main missions as Master Chief, and I think it was 20 to 15 side missions as other people.
Mm-hmm.
I think what they're probably going to do is you're going to have your 20 main mission thing, and then throughout the next couple months they're going to start releasing the side missions, because the side missions are supposed to be telling the story through a different perspective. Atriox is supposed to be one of them.
That sounds familiar.
But so when it comes to like adding content, I think this is what they're going to do with this game. When you first pick it up, of course you're going to have like that main arc and everything like that. But don't be surprised if 343, like as they keep moving forward, like they add additional content, kind of the same way that they did with the multiplayer in Halo 5, but maybe not every single month. You know what I'm saying? But
a lot of people in the chat are asking this, and Knox, I'll ask you this question because Knox is a massive Destiny fan. I know that Xbot is as well. But is there a fear? I'll use the word fear, but I myself personally, it wouldn't bother me because I would want to see how they would develop it. But Knox, can you see that if they took Halo and went into not a carbon copy of Destiny, but something like that?
So if they made it pretty much a MMO shooter.
Yes, but not as blatant as Destiny came out and did it, because I think that would offend too much of the hardcore.
Like the grinding and stuff like that, but think about added story over time.
That's what I would want. That's what me personally, that's what I would want to see it happen. But I can't call it. I would like that. I would think that they could, pull that off if they, given that they, do their research. I mean, it's Microsoft, right? And they're gonna do their homework, and I would like to see it do what Destiny does in the Halo universe. Now, however, that does take a large investment, and you still have to bring in everyone else, like all the guys on the panel right now that are talking about what happened in Halo Wars 2, and I don't know, I don't. The last one I played was Halo 5. And, so I don't know all the ins and outs of the story. But I would like to see it be like an open world, I'm sorry about that.
The thing that's the issue with that is they could take certain concepts from Destiny, but they can't take the foundation of Destiny, because the foundation of Destiny is a loot shooter.
It is, it is true.
So exactly. It's hard to take from Destiny, but take enough to benefit the game without hurting the game.
Exactly. That's the chemistry I love.
The content loop of Destiny. That's fine, but just make sure that the game doesn't. Yeah, just don't make sure the game doesn't play like Destiny. I did a video about this like a few months ago, where essentially like they should take some elements from that, because that's where a lot of these first person shooters are going. Where if you want to keep people invested, you gotta do more than have fire multiplayer. No, Halo Guardians had fire multiplayer, but the campaign wasn't great, and so like there are certain things that you have to do, and in order to do that, like you see what a lot of mostly loot shooters, but other first-person shooters, they have consistent content drops throughout a certain period of time post-launch. You do that, you're going to get a lot of people continuing to keep coming back to this game. A lot of people, or some of them may actually stay in and keep playing the game if you have good content that is also repetitive, but yet if it's very good content, people don't really care that they're doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, and to piggyback on what Slow-Mo was saying, because I do agree. Listen, they have to keep it true to their roots, right? The meat and potatoes, which is the campaign and story, right? You have to, that's first and foremost, and that multiplayer. You have to keep that multiplayer like tight, on point. It can't be Crucible. It just can't be.
I don't think. When it comes down to it, one of the like the bright spots of Halo 5 was the fact that the multiplayer was absolute fire, and it was
absolutely.
And I think they're going to keep the core kind of like mechanics, core gameplay. Of course, you're going to get different maps and stuff like that. Yo, Attic, I just because we haven't been able to talk a lot of Halo between me and you, man, for a long time here. So. Like, what do you think about what I'm saying in terms of the content? I'm not talking the grind, but I'm saying like over time.
Yeah.
And from hearing Phil really admire kind of like the long road that Bungie is producing when it comes to Destiny with the expansion coming in September. Do you see what I'm saying? Are you in that boat with me, brother? That like, they're gonna keep adding content, story content to the game after it's released?
To be honest with you, Expert, I'm not in that boat. I didn't even get on that boat at the dock. I'm still at the dock, sitting there watching you float away on the boat.
I'll throw you a lifeline, man. Come on.
No, like I don't have an issue with the Destiny model. I'm probably the biggest Destiny fan besides maybe Expert in this panel. But my issue is I want Halo. If I play Destiny, I want to go play Destiny.
That's the thing. I agree.
I don't know. Have y'all read the books? Because I read the books. I mean, we all can put our Halo hats on, but yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I want them to stay true to the roots. They can't say stuff like they can't say stuff like we want to take it back, because they've said this a couple of times. We want to go back to the roots and then change the gameplay up like that. Like it's just like, okay, now Halo Wars 2, how they did the expansions is there was like an expansion like every 3 months. They gave you new leaders. They give you maybe a new mission, and then 3 months later, they give you another one, and then like 6 months after that, they give you a whole new expansion, and then it was over. I would be okay with stuff like that. It just depends. Like, there's rumors that Warzone's not coming back, which I'm not a big fan of Warzone.
I was going to say, I'm okay with that, Addict.
Yeah, me too.
But my brother loves Warzone. So, a lot of people was introduced into Warzone and Halo 5. So I do think that low-key they need that back, but I wouldn't care if it doesn't come back, but I know a lot of people that love Warzone. I'm more of an arena, 4v4. So,
let me ask Addict and Slow-Mo and Xbot, the guys on the panel that I just know have played a lot of Halo, way more than I have, is this. Really, I got to say, we always
say... It's my second most played game this gen, dude.
But here's the thing, though, Xbot.
The first one's Destiny.
It's Destiny,
yes,
right.
Sir. Yes,
so
sir.
What's interesting about it, though, no, this and that comment plays a role into my question. Is that the whole point of the matter is that we always say, well, when it comes to Halo 5, it was the best multiplayer, and everybody on every panel says, oh yeah, okay, yeah. Everybody nods their heads, everybody agrees. But the thing is, except for Xbot, like Slow-Mo, I'll pick on you for a second. Like, how long was the Halo 5 multiplayer a thing for you? Not long, right?
Well, it was a thing for me probably for the first 3 months.
3 months, right? Okay,
4 months when it came out.
Right.
And then I had a resurgence with it once I started to get some other people
that
were willing to play it.
How long was the duration,
Slow-Mo? Dropping, bro. That new content was, and the new content was dropping as well. Every month you get like new maps, new Warzone maps, and stuff like that. You remember, like they were dropping.
Yeah, I mean,
every
look,
month, man.
They were doing that. But I was getting with people. Shout out to I don't know if he's listening, but Nimbus, Don Julio. He was like, and within like us and Luca and some other people, Don Julio was making maps like constantly. We were remixing maps, playing his original maps, having a great time with it. The gunplay, the multiplayer was great. It was a great fun time. It's just that, for me, I with the Halo games that I've played all throughout the years, I can't tell you how many times I played through Halo Combat Evolved or Halo 2 or Halo 3.
Yeah.
Reach was probably tied for my favorite with Combat Evolved. And I've played through those campaigns so many times. That's part of the allure to Halo for me. It's not just the multiplayer. And also when the game doesn't do so well, when any multiplayer game, you want people to play with. And when you don't have people to play with anymore, they other people that you used to play the game with, they lose interest, they drop it, they go to something else. That affects you too, because you don't really have nobody to play with anymore. And so it's just like those kind of things kind of like really affected
Slow-Mo, did you think
how much I played.
So you thought the almighty Halo community, right? Did they drop off of that multiplayer?
I think the hardcore Halo community didn't.
His friends did,
yeah, but my friends did. Like I had some friends that they were Halo fans, but they weren't like hardcore Halo like I was. Yeah. And so they played the game with me for a while, but they were just like, yo, bro, I'm going to play Destiny, man. I'm gonna go play something else. I'm not playing this, and it's just like, all right, it is what it is. You play by yourself, but after a while, you just get tired of being, I'm just gonna play Halo multiplayer solo.
right. And
after a while, you start playing something else. That your friends are playing.
Go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, can I chime in real quick? I mean, it's what Slobo said just really resonated with me because. Like I'm old school Xbox. Like I remember when Halo Combat Evolved came out, and it was just before Xbox Live was available. We were doing like using Xbox Connect, which was kind of basically jerry rigged your OG Xbox so you could play other people online. It wasn't great, but it was kind of like the closest thing to Xbox Live before there was Xbox Live. And when Halo 2 came out, I mean, it was just the best multiplayer game on console, bar none. It's a crowded space now. And like with Destiny and what Slow-Mo said, like, yeah, I think the hardcore Halo community is still there. But I think a lot of people, myself including now, there's just so many other options, and I don't know what they could do to keep people as engaged. Maybe they go, a Destiny route, something that's kind of narrative driven, but multiplayer at the same time.
Yo, Enrique, see, there. That's why I feel like they are changing that formula. When they talk about, a spiritual reboot, they're meaning like what I'm reading into that is kind of like your interaction with the enemies, even on multiplayer. There's a certain amount of strategy when you're one-on-one with another Spartan that is really a unique feeling within Halo multiplayer. But in terms of like captivating a newer audience as well, I think that's why they are gonna flip up that formula of that more linear kind of like story based. They're gonna broaden that out, and that's why I think they're also gonna add content on the end of it. We heard these rumors about after you complete a mission, there's at least like 3 side missions with different characters that you can go in and really kind of fill out the story arc all the way through. As you progress, like stuff like that, I feel like that's newer to the Halo formula,
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's there to attract other gamers.
So let me throw
co-op content.
Let me throw these. There's a couple of super chats here that are Halo involved, and Brap, don't lose your train of thought. But Surexman says here, and guys, you don't have to answer them as I go through them, but I do want to kind of get to them because I think Surexman made a good question. Epic Monk has one too. Surexman says, "What happens if Master Chief dies at the end of the story?" Now, just hold on to that thought because that's something. I want to say shout out to One Typical Latino who says, "What are your thoughts on the new Crash, Ratchet and whatever?" I think he's trying to say competition. Probably One Typical. We're gonna get to the Crash stuff later in the show, so I just want you to know I'm acknowledging that. Epic Monk says, "Would a free Halo Battle Royale mode work something like Warzone? Would bring a lot of new players and Twitch streamers." And Humble Beast comes in and says, "I'm still playing Halo Combat Evolved 20 years later." Humble, a lot of people are, and I'll be honest with you, it's so nostalgic that that's what I said this to Crap earlier this week when that tweet got out from Halo. I said, man, I'm sitting here and I'm not a Halo crazed. You know, you can ask Xbox know me for a very long time. I'm not a Halo nut. I'm not. No. But the minute the Halo conversation comes up again, that kid in me comes out and I'm like, man, I definitely
twinkle in your
I want to sit down and play it again, right? It is nostalgia. It's a hell of a drug. It gets me every time, Brap. But I will say to Epic Monk's answer, and guys, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Halo Battle Royale, at least for the beginning, I've heard enough people say in the business that's not a thing. I mean, I don't know if you guys feel
I don't think it is either. I think 343 actually came out and said they're not.
Yeah, I don't think that's a thing.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that. I don't want them to do.
To be honest with you, I think it would work. It depends on who makes it, because if you think about it, they have the perfect system for that. ODST. ODST drop in and drop ships.
The hell drop, the hell jumpers. Yeah,
like imagine instead of being on like a ship.
Community though, it will instead of community though.
Instead of being this would be like a standalone thing.
Yeah.
Instead of being like a ship that goes across, like you just pick where you want to launch and you launch with the
drop right
ship.
in there, bam.
Well, it just depends. It depends on what their focus on is, because like. Whenever we want to tackle if Master Chief dies, that'll be the next thing I talk.
I kind of agree with Attic, and I think a battle royale game would actually work well for Halo. Like if they do like ODST that drop in. I mean, Mooch, they have so many iconic places. Imagine a Reach map, like.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Reach map. Yes.
Blood Gulch, the big Blood Gulch match.
Yes.
You know what, Mooch? I'll say this: like I haven't played Call of Duty multiplayer in like. A very long in years, probably since the first Black Ops. You know what got me back to Call of Duty? Warzone.
Yeah,
the battle. So I mean, look, I would be all for a Halo battle royale game. I totally would. I mean,
I understand what you guys are saying with that. I do think it could be a good mode, a decent mode. I do also kind of feel like it's not really what Halo needs. What Halo needs is something that is. Yeah, it's something that's authentic to Halo, something that's new and unique. Because if you're charting the same,
that's what Halo needs.
Yeah, if you're charting the same paths that other games have already done, other people are going to be like, well, like it's cool that Halo did that. I'll try it out, but honestly, if I want that, I'll just go play that other game that already does it. And so, like when it comes to like a small, like if you want Halo to blow like it used to be and get maybe some of that Fortnite crowd over, like you're going to have to do something that's different that they haven't seen before, but that it also still can also be something that can be they can get easily addicted to it and play for, God knows how many hours, like Fortnite Battle Royale.
They're very addictive, though.
What Halo needs is Warzone without the cards, put on a scale of Battlefield for that particular mode. Because, they're always saying, because, obviously people like the arena stuff. I love the arena stuff. I didn't care too much about Warzone because I felt like it was too much pay to win, but my brother loves that shit.
I love arena, dude.
He's got like 25 days in Halo 5. But it's just like at the end of the day, I don't think they need to focus on anything but the primary game right now, because it's not like Sony. If Sony wants to do something, I trust Sony because Sony showed me they can do it. Okay, 343 got to show me they can make a solid multiplayer and single player in one game before they start doing
one game.
Right.
Preach, Attic.
Woo! Yo, check this out.
Attic, that's very true.
One thing real quick about Halo 2 and Halo 3, which is something that I feel like there's people in the Halo community that want to ignore this. Like, I think what you got to do is you got to take the numbers from Halo 2 and Halo 3, how many people were playing, and kind of like put them to the side.
Didn't Halo 4 sell the most?
I don't.
I thought 3 still held the title, but I could be wrong.
I thought Halo 4 was the most sold Halo.
But here's the thing, when it comes to Halo 2, it was brand new with Xbox Live, which was brand new. All right, you're coming off the hype of Halo 1. You have a brand new online service that everything just blew up there, right? So then Halo 3 comes around, and people, they're automatically brought back to that Halo 2 when Xbox Live was fresh and all that good stuff, and they went crazy on the multiplayer, and there, so many people got
Halo 3, by the way, guys.
Yeah, it's Halo 3 with almost 12 million sales.
Yeah, I thought Halo 3 still retained it slightly. Yeah,
that was within the beginning, into kind of like the maturation of Xbox Live as well. Like when it comes down to it, for people who are interested in numbers, you're probably not going to see those types of numbers again. When it comes down to it,
why not though, Xbox? Like I don't. Agree
why?
With that.
Because like you said, Enrique, when it comes to
Enrique.
All right, when it comes to
Christine Nith. Nobody knows what I'm talking about, but maybe Matty will watch this and he'll laugh. Christine Nith! Christine, are you stupid? Christine Nith!
Dude, I watched that a couple weeks back with the wife. She
what it is
died, dude.
What it is at the end of the day is
the category has been filling up with other games as well.
Okay, but Xbox, I think if they can nail the story down and make it a compelling,
to be honest,
narrative game, the single player side,
it could go back to what it was, selling goods,
exactly,
selling 10 plus. But at the end of the day, a lot of people bought the original Halos for the multiplayer back before Fortnite existed, back before Blackout existed,
before Call of Duty. Yeah,
there's way too much competition. For people to be buying a game for the multiplayer. Now you'll have people to buy that they well let me finish. You'll have people that will buy.
Interrupt again, Addict.
You'll have people that buy Halo for both because they like the both. But there was a lot of people back in the Halo 3 days that bought it just to play with their friends because that was the hot multiplayer out now. And I don't think you're going to see that these days. You're going to see people that like the game, that gravitate towards the game.
That's a really good point.
At the end of the day, Halo can never be what it was because the multiplayer industry is way more broad than it ever was.
Attic, can I add something to your point, though? Do you feel that the multiplayer, even though I hear from Xbot and he's a true diehard fan, so I honor his opinion, but it's in a separate category because I feel like now that I'm playing other games like Battle Royale and these other war zones and these other types of multiplayer games, I feel like Halo, as much as it's a great game, I don't think it's evolved. I don't, like you said, when Halo 3 came out, it was the greatest multiplayer. It was the hottest one everyone wanted to play. I feel like now it's crisper, it's more responsive, but it feels still like I'm playing, even Halo 5 multiplayer, I feel like I'm still playing Halo 3 multiplayer. You know what I mean, to a certain extent?
The problem is Halo is one of those founding fathers, pretty much, that made the first-person shooter genre what it is. I consider Call of Duty one of them, and it's like the Call of Duty fanboy. It's hard. 343 is in a position where they inherited something that they really didn't want. I'm sure 343 would rather make a game they like, but they got stuck with Halo. And Halo's a great franchise to make, and a lot of them worked on the other Halos. But if you consider the other Halos that they made, Halo was still, a 10-year-old game by the time it was switched to them?
Yes.
So, obviously, I'm sure a lot of them want to make something new. And it just comes down to what works these days and what works them days. And for the most part, there's certain games that worked back then that would never work now. And Halo is in that middle scenario where 343 doesn't know what to do to push it forward because they're like, all right, we made some changes in Halo 4 and we got our ass bit. All right, we made some changes in Halo 5. We still got our ass bit, just not as bad. It's like, do we pull the scale back?
It's a lose-lose.
Appeal to the hardcore, or do we push the scale up to try to appeal to more people and broaden the horizon?
Yeah. So I just want to say something real quick to what Attic was saying about, Halo maybe can never be Halo again. And at the time, and he's right, like Attic, you're right. Like at the time, there wasn't Call of Duty when Halo 2 dropped. But I will say this, the mindset, at least in the community at the time, from what I remember, and I used to run like with Xbox Live clans, we were all hyped for Halo multiplayer. But really, the defining thing that really appealed to us about Halo was the story, was the campaign, because there wasn't anything like it at the time.
That's right.
It was so narrative driven. It was so emotional.
I'll be back.
You really
It
connected
was
with
so
Master
complex. It had
It
layers.
was exactly. It was complex. It was multi-layered. The story arc was multi-layered, and I think that you could still regain that magic if they put out a solid narrative.
But here's the thing: is that everyone does that now. So everything that was so fresh and new back then, and like, wow, no one is doing that but Halo. But now everyone is doing that. So now you got to actually come either with something that is of higher quality than what everyone else is doing, or come up with something brand new.
Everyone isn't successful at it. And the Halo universe offers an awesome recipe for success.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Just that universe in itself, the lore, everything. That's what makes Bungie great. If you don't think that My Name is Bife and Mylan Games don't make Destiny great, they absolutely do.
I love Bife, man. Come on. Yeah.
You have to. You have to.
Yeah.
That lore,
if it wasn't for Bife, no one will understand what the hell is going on in Destiny.
Exactly. And Halo already has that established.
Yes, they do.
We already know the lore. Everyone knows everything. You know what I mean? So it is poised.
Dude, they can get into the dirtiness of Oni. They can spread out across the universe, different species. Man,
absolutely.
They can go crazy.
They have a lot to play with. They have a lot to toil with. It is on Microsoft to do that exquisitely, to pull that off. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I really do believe that if they can make this compelling campaign, that like Halo will be like great. Not that it's I don't think it's bad. Like Halo's a very good game still.
Yeah.
compared to other shooters. I'm not
absolutely.
But it's not where it was.
They can make
it's not where it was when it first came out. Yeah, but I think
compelling campaign. They can do it. Yes. They did it with 4. They did it with 5. 4 having the better multiplayer. 5 having the better multiplayer, I should say, and 4 having the better, in-game,
campaign. Better campaign.
Correct.
Yeah.
So,
dude, me and my son cried at the end of Halo 4. All right, I am not ashamed of that. Like when the shit hit the fan and we got saved and all that good stuff. Like I looked at my
Halo 4 story was unbelievably great. Period.
Yes,
I loved it. Loved it.
Yes.
I loved it too.
Shout out real quick. Let me say a quick shout out to the great Marty Bison who's here on the show. He says, have a great show panel. And of course, Sir X-Man's back. Sir X-Man's always got story to tell here. He says, what Halo needs to do is put more emphasis on their capture the flag, their oddballs, and their King of the Hills. I'm not sure what you meant by oddballs, but their King of the Hill. Bring back that Halo 2 fresh ball. I never played oddball. But nonetheless, I didn't. I never played it.
I don't think that's enough. Honestly.
I didn't.
You don't think oddball's enough?
No, I don't think bringing back those modes will really make. I mean, it's what is expected.
No, listen. When a game like The Last of Us is out, right, and people are still juggling the Division and Destiny 2, the Division 2 and Destiny 2, they're still juggling around those giants. Shit like Red Dead, you're still juggling Destiny 2 around it. You're still juggling the Division 2 around it. You're still juggling Rainbow Six around it.
The thing
it says a lot. It's something that needs to be looked at. And Microsoft
I think the biggest,
absolutely. Go ahead, Addy.
Sorry, I think the biggest issue that Microsoft has is they need to put some type of seasonal thing like Fortnite does, where you have different seasons, you have different what's the one I'm looking for? Themes to every season.
They have the best entry for it. They have Game Pass is the best entry.
Well, I get that. Well, I'm more referring to Halo. It's just like if you want Halo, it's the reason people keep going. It's the reason people keep going back to Destiny. It's the reason people keep going back to Division, because they keep Division and Destiny are two different things because of the loot shooter aspect. But they go back on there because of the new seasons. Right now the Darkness is in Destiny. I have no clue what the Division is doing because I don't play that. but it's just like Fortnite. They do crazy shit all the time when they're even like the middle of what everyone's top is. They're like, yo, we got to nuke the game. Like it's just like, we got to do something completely different and get that viewership back. The thing is Halo is an outdated game in the future. It does okay, but it doesn't have that evolving world that it needs to a point. Now
and
it's like
and it can do it. It can absolutely do it. It has the content, it has the lore, it has everything to do it, to make it successful.
That's why I think that's the direction that they're going, man. They are gonna.
They have to. The thing is though,
I think so too.
The thing is though, Xbox, I want them to do it that makes sense to the Halo community, community, and I don't want them to just try to copy shit just because it's hot. I want them to copy shit and adapt it to make it Halo styled.
I agree with
that. I mean that's I didn't say anything like that because I thought making an ass out of everybody, you would assume that that's what I meant. Like that's why I said when I first said about dropping content like Destiny 2, I was like, yo, you guys are gonna think a certain way, but I'm not really saying that.
I've been saying
minus the grind, but having the story content kind of evolve as it's moving forward and stuff like that. I think that's what we're gonna get here,
and that's fine if they do it from a pure story focus. I think people would come. The thing is
I hear birds in the
people
background.
That sounded very pleasant.
Very soothing.
Sorry, I'm outside now.
That's all right. It sounded great, Jamie. It's fine.
Okay, I thought Xbox Mom was here. I was like,
oh my god, people that do that seasonal work and stuff like that. We all refer to the original content of that game as vanilla. That initial Halo Infinite story got to be lit.
Yes, exactly.
It's got to grab you by the balls at the beginning. And then hold on to them motherfuckers the entire game and then let go of them.
Massage them.
Well, listen, they have it set up.
Please, nobody talk about killing Master Chief.
Listen,
okay?
Halo 5 set it up already with Cortana going against the Chief or whatever. Like, you have the perfect platform to set off.
So someone, I had to do something for work a couple seconds. If someone said something about Master Chief dying, have we addressed that yet?
No, we haven't gotten to that. That was something
we haven't talked about it yet.
Hey, let me say something real quick because I've been kind of quiet on this subject, but. Did anybody forget that they did something called Spartan Ops in Halo 4 to begin with, which was a weekly content story-based drop that they did. They did 10 of those that actually kind of, I could imagine them doing something like that again, but expanding it further than just a 10. I also have no problem if they wanted to do a free BR mode. The reason why is because, it chases a trend, but I think there's room because to me, Halo makes a lot more sense than even Call of Duty because it already has vehicles and things like that. And again,
I'd agree with you. They started that vehicle shit.
Yeah, they have the ODST troopers that makes sense to drop in. Again, make that free. Then there's rumors that they have a free-to-play thing like that, right? So look at Warzone. What did they get? 35 million players. I don't see why you couldn't do that. And then you have the base multiplayer that would be just on the game that would still be the paid portion. And I think that they will probably continue to do that. I think that Halo Infinite, given that they've taken 5 years, it has to listen, you and this is really just kind of a bad comparison, but look at what Naughty Dog did with The Last of Us 2. They upped everything and made it better, right? Now, if you go back and look at Halo 5, now it's looked at as the one with the best multiplayer, but somebody pointed out in the chat, and this is what I always try to say, it didn't launch with Forge. There was no big team. There was no this. There was no that. It was like it launched very bare bones. Yeah.
There's been too long that this game hasn't been out. That all that shit needs to be there at launch.
But
Forge coming out 2 months later. None of that.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, it has to be there at launch, and not only that, because look at it. I can remember when Crackdown 3 launched. Right, that game launched. And it didn't allow you to team up with your friends. And me and Mooch said that game will be dead before they patch that. Yeah. And it was.
It was, yeah.
Like, you cannot afford to drop the ball and that kind of stuff. So, 5 years is a long time to wait. It better have.
It's not really 5 years. That's the thing. And Attic said,
I said like 2 years on the engine, but at the end of the day, they spent 2 years to make the game, so I would still consider that part of the development time.
I completely think 2 to 3 is the terms we should use, because if they didn't do it 5 years ago, or they restarted the engine 2.5, 3 years ago, that's when the start date was, right? I mean, yes, but the story was 5 years ago. But
I mean, they have a look how
They
huge
could've-
that development team. They could be doing it
We don't
at the
know
same time. I mean,
when Halo 5 was in development, for all we know, they could have had a good size of their team finishing up Halo 5, and they had half the team starting on the engine. So they could have been starting on the engine a year before the 5 even dropped.
I mean, they have a large team, and they also outsource a lot. They're working with multiple other studios, so you have to imagine that they've been working on this stuff for a while. You can't tell me Phil doesn't see Fortnite making a lot of money in Warzone, and he has 2 platforms or 3 maybe really that could do that. You have your phone and your PC and the Xboxes. They could all be playing this new Halo BR free. And if they really wanted to be successful, I think that Phil's found out you put your shit on Steam, because those people would rather pay to buy your game and play it than do Game Pass on Windows, because nobody likes Windows. Right? Like I keep stressing this. Look, Sea of Thieves. Listen, even though people want to think that I'm an Xbox hater, I'm not. I said Sea of Thieves would be highly successful, and it has been. Nobody can say it's not a success. It's got concurrently, 60-some thousand on Steam, probably that much or more on Xbox. It's doing well. That's their type of bread and butter for Microsoft. They want something like that with Halo. Like, listen, like Sea of Thieves has been out for over 2.5 years, and it still is consistently up there. They want that for Halo, so I could see them doing something like Spartan Ops again, which was fun. It kept us diving into the single player stuff.
That's right.
Co-op with your friends. You know what I mean? Like I could definitely see them doing that, and I feel like this is going to be.
Halsey lost her arm too, man.
Yeah,
like,
and so the couple of things in particular that I heard was that Halo will be, when they show it off, will be the best looking game that we've seen so far for next generation. And the other thing that I got confirmed was that, 3 things that I've heard was that also that the initiative game wasn't Perfect Dark, and the other thing was that Fable, that they 100% are going to show Fable with the seasons, like I had been saying, makes sense. Like that's something that we'll see as well. It's all very exciting stuff, but it's
from like Horizon, and they're gonna
I mean, that's
the initiative game is supposed to be a photorealistic game.
To be
honest with you,
that's good, but
I would be happy if it's not Perfect Dark.
But I mean, I would love it not to be Perfect Dark.
When it comes to the initiative, I think I think they've been getting their ass beat by Sony's, the cinematic games that they've been doing. Obviously, Last of Us, an amazing game. God of War, an amazing game. And I think that initiative was designed to make those type of games.
Yeah, listen, it's going to have some kind of multiplayer thing, though. I mean, that's just Microsoft. I even heard Fable is going to have some kind of multiplayer type. Co-op. Like they do that because they have Game Pass.
I don't want.
I don't want a bunch of loot boxes and loot chests. Like I hate that kind of stuff. But people it's okay to be excited by Halo because I think it's going to do well. It's going to look great. And they're gonna have a lot of content, right? Like, and again, they're gonna have to have people to come back. They want people to come back to it because supposedly, but with the engine and all that, $500 million is a heavy price tag, and a lot of people are just gonna probably dip their toes in through Game Pass. So they want people to come back, so they keep paying for that stuff, which I think makes a lot of sense. But it is gonna be. I think it'll be good. I think it's okay to be excited by it, and I think that they learned enough from the feedback from the previous game that this one is going to be much, much better than 5 as far as the story and stuff like that. I don't think Master Chief is going anywhere. I think if anything, they learned keep Master Chief there. If you want to do a spinoff, I hear that a lot, then fine, spin it off, do something else. But I like Master Chief. I want to play as freaking Master Chief. I don't want to, Reach was a different thing, and I love that. But for the most part, I just want to play as Chief and experience that.
Here's the thing, guys.
I've had an idea about what they should do with the Master Chief. So I know a lot of people are always saying, "Well, kill the Master Chief off to create some hype or whatever." I'm like, that's very short lived, and then afterwards, you can't undo it. And if you undo it, it looks real stupid, right? So basically, what you can do instead of killing the Master Chief off is just kind of elevate him.
Kill him and get locked.
No, kill him. Like you can elevate Chief to a different role where essentially, I feel like what they should do with Halo Infinite is also allow you to create your own Spartan 4.
You want my opinion? I know a lot of people ain't gonna like this.
Let me finish my thought at it. I think they should allow people to create their own Spartan 4. And so that like you actually have a character creation screen. You can design them however you want to look. You'll be able to see this character with the helmet off, and he would actually have the Spartan 4 would have a role in a lot of the campaign, the co-op stuff, the actual story of the game, as well as be a Spartan that you will play in multiplayer. Hold on. But then the chief is still the chief. And so with main story content, the chief is still the guy. He is still the man. And then even you can actually have story content where the chief is actually mentoring your Spartan and other Spartans. So kind of like elevate him to a different role so that people get more comfortable seeing content that isn't just the Master Chief. Because a lot of these younger gamers can't really resonate with a dude that you never see his face. And he's kind of like the everyman. You know what I mean? So it's just...
You know what? I was just gonna say real quick, like I like where you're going with that, and shout out to my brother K Mega, because we are in DMs arguing over the fact that the Master Chief is not going to get killed in Halo Infinite. And one thing I will say is, like, I hear you with grabbing more gamers and stuff like that, but if you come out in this Halo and you do something like that to the chief, or even elevate him to a different position at this point in time, you will have the entire Halo community grabbing their pitchforks, lighting their torches, going over to the studio and burning that shit down.
All right, well then, if you get more people to play the game that eclipses the Halo community, okay, I think that's a W. And honestly, a lot of hardcore gamers for a particular game, they get mad, they get their pitchforks, and then they keep playing the game. We see it with Destiny all the time. They get mad and they keep playing the game.
Then they come back.
So they come back. So it's going to happen.
I do it all the time.
Let me handle the super chats real quick. Mr. Miracle says, in 2020, what game generates more hype, Cyberpunk or a 343 made Halo? I think Infinite should be delayed to spring. Cyberpunk's going to kill this holiday. I don't think that's the case.
It's more important for that game to come out.
I agree.
Day one than it is for it to. It's actually probably more important for that to be a launch title than it is the sales of the game itself.
I agree. Sir X-Man comes back and says, what I'm saying is put a fresh take on those modes. He was the one that originally said put emphasis on King of the Hill and the other older game modes from Halo 2. He's saying put an emphasis on those. I can understand that. Shout out to Ray Martinez Jr. Ray, I do appreciate you so much for sticking around and enjoying the show. He says, hey guys, like your show panel. What's your thoughts if Halo Infinite fails? Which developer Microsoft will purchase to make the next Halo? That's a great question, to be honest.
I'm not even going to think about it failing yet, because we haven't seen like their official in-depth unveiling of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do feel like
we have to see the reveal before we can say if it's going to fail. Yeah, a lot of people ain't going to like what I have to say about it. I think Halo's ran its course. I think that this is the last. I think this is the second trilogy. It's the last game of the second trilogy. I'm sorry, kill Master Chief and just start a new franchise. Wow. I get that they need. I get that they feel like they need Halo.
I don't think kill Master Chief though.
No, I don't think they will. But I say
make him kill Cortana, right?
But the thing is,
resolution, it's gratifying to the community.
One of the biggest reasons that people,
if he was to do that,
obviously, I'm saying this from a perspective of Halo's been around for how long? You can't really see new great IPs if you have your talent working on the same shit they've been working on for 15 years. Right. I do think that Halo has been a phenomenal franchise. I'm not saying kill off Halo, but the Master Chief experience, I think it needs to end. One of the biggest reasons people love Reach, Reach was a great game, but that feeling at the end when you're fighting the elites in an unwinnable battle and sooner or later you're going to die, that's what made Reach what Reach was.
Yep. Facts.
Yeah, and they did Reach, but they didn't kill the Master Chief. You can still have that feeling without having to kill off the main guy of the story.
The best part about Reach was when you see the Easter egg of Master Chief being loaded up. Right, like everybody's like, "Oh, damn! There's Chief. There's like,
right?
Yeah, that's like I don't know, like
you made it.
Even when we're talking,
I gotta say what Knox said blew my mind in terms of Cortana. For anybody who has followed Halo from the beginning up until now, like if it ever comes to the point where he has to like take her life,
go against
Cortana,
I think
that's gonna be hard.
Oh my goodness, dude! That would
see. The thing is that you can have that, but it's like I said, if they make another Halo, we're gonna have they're gonna be at least another 2 if they make another one. So we're looking at probably another 10 years of Halo. Like, let it go. Like, I love Halo. I love Halo. But you're speaking from...
He's not really wrong. He's not really wrong.
It's like, look, Halo is amazing. Halo has been one of the key reasons that I've been in the industry. I love the game.
Make it evolve. You don't have to
but the thing is, it's a first-person shooter. There's not a lot you can do to evolve it.
Well,
unless you want to change the core mechanics of the game and what the foundation of the game's built on, they're kind of at a standstill.
Yeah,
let at the end of the story, Master Chief has to make I can take out Cortana. She's about to nuke the world, but it's going to take myself out too. Right. And you have the memorial thing with his helmet, and he sacrificed himself for the good of mankind, and then just put a seal and just end it. It's just like, look, like if we don't,
he becomes the new AI, right? How about that, right?
The thing is, I have no problem if they keep Chief alive. I have no problem if they keep Chief dead. But I'm tired of Microsoft relying on Halo so much.
But I do agree with that. I do agree that we don't need another Halo game after this. I do believe this should be the last Halo game. But I feel like
talking from a standpoint of a Halo fan, we all know if they do not kill Chief, 343 going to be making Halo for the rest of their damn lives.
Well, that's fine. Look, we don't know. He's kind of right. We don't know if they don't like making Halo games. But I'm pretty sure if you are a developer for 343, if you're tired of looking at the Master Chief, you could just go work for Double Fine or the Coalition or someone else.
I want them right to send and it all matters about the story. If the story's trash, obviously it's not going to matter. But if that story's lit and the whole game you're loving it, and at the very end you're seeing what's going on, you're like, yo, they didn't just do that.
You need a positive conflict resolution for Master Chief. You absolutely need it, because it is what Halo fans demand. You have to give it to them.
But look, if you take it to what
from that kind of stand, I'm speaking from, I want more shit. I don't want to play Halo for the rest of my life.
I feel you on that.
And if you want to
keep it addict, I feel you on that. If you want to keep the universe alive, absolutely. But if you want resolution for the characters, for Master Chief, for Cortana, for everyone else, you have to get that one way or the other, right? Like,
to be honest with you, I don't like. Obviously, there's going to be people that's upset, but if they send them off in a right way, I think there will be a minority of people upset on. But if it's sent off in a right way, and you have that memorial at the end, it's just like Halo 3. Yeah. I'm sure up until you saw him in space saying, "Wake me up when you need me." People were, oh, this is the end of a trilogy. This is the way you send off one of the greatest characters of all time. And look, oh shit, he's still alive. Like, I think that if you do it correctly, and it's one of those things where it was the world, it was the Universal Chief on Cortana. I don't think people are going to get upset. Obviously, there will be people that's upset because they're attached to Halo.
You saw how upset people got about Joel. Imagine Master Chief.
But the thing
is, I think what they really need to do is basically keep this as an ongoing game. Like we don't need another Halo after this. Make it an ongoing game. Like there are other ongoing games. You just keep iterating off.
Keep
of
it
that.
going.
There are games and we have technology now where basically you can do that. Back in the day, they couldn't do that, but now you can actually just push a big patch that actually upgrades the game engine. We've seen it with games like Warframe. Warframe been around since 2012. It's the same game, and they just keep adding more content to it. The graphics look outdated now. Okay, next content update, we're upgrading.
They don't have a protagonist.
Well, I'm talking about that's the other thing, the other issues that Warframe has. But what I'm saying is that like there's ways where you can continue to keep the game going, and then absolutely, and like if you want to phase the Chief out, you can keeping the game going with consistent more expansion, story expansion. You can introduce new characters and slowly bring them up so that people start liking those characters, and then you can pull Chief back. Don't have to kill him. And still have these other characters be
like okay. So you got to bring in chapters for that.
Let me
attack it from a couple scenarios.
Dope. I would like that.
Let me attack it from a couple scenarios. Hey,
yo, Addict, real quick, just before you do that, I just got to ask you: do you have like a set of knives or a vacuum cleaner that you can sell me? Because, dude, I was adamant about nothing like that with Master Chief, and you kind of talked me into. No, that would actually be incredible.
No, but I agree with that. If it's done right, you could pull it off, and no one would expect that. But if it's done in a way that's
let me finish this real quick. I want to address what Slomo said, then I'll let you go. All right, you said that let's build someone up, let's put someone else in the spotlight. Problem is, as long as Master Chief is living, ain't nobody gonna want no one else in the spotlight but him.
That's not I don't agree with that at all, because what you're doing is you're taking your opinion and then applying it to everyone else.
It's not my opinion. Look what they did when people made Arbiter. People were pissed. Why am I playing as Arbiter? I don't want to play as Arbiter.
That's because they took chapters out of the story immediately.
Okay, hold up. Then let me finish my second addressment. What was the second thing you said? I had it on top of my head, but then you interrupted in my thought process. Continue what you were saying. Why I remember what I was going to say.
Well, I love the what I'm saying is that with the Arbiter, people didn't like the Arbiter because they wanted to play as Chief at that time. That's what they expected. Well, I'm not saying just immediately pull a lock and just drop somebody into the game and say, hey, look, here's this other guy, play as him. What I'm saying is, hold on, introduce other characters in, kind of have them be supporting characters with Chief. Make them important, and then later on, when people are playing as them, there's like, okay, I already know this Spartan or this other character or this Hell Jumper or whoever, and then I can play as that person. They're fine with that.
Here's another thing. I do feel like they tried that in Gears with Marcus, and Marcus was the mentor. No one liked that.
That's true.
They didn't try that in Gears because they immediately switched to JD.
Yes, they did.
But what else are you going to do? Like how would
I just said it. You bring someone along with them. Like you introduce a character, and yes, this would be like a younger person or whatever. Someone like I mentioned it before about having your own creative character, kind of like with Destiny, where you created your own Guardian. And so
I just feel like now, when it comes to, let me finish this before I forget it again. First off, Master Chief is a frontline soldier. He's done enough. He saved humanity like 3 times. If he was going to be promoted, he could have been promoted. My thing is the centered around Chief is he wants to be on front lines. He wants to be in the midst of the battle. He want to be on a ship commanding people. Another thing is, Slomo, what are you gonna do with the man if he ain't in the spotlight? He gonna be retired and sitting on like a beach somewhere?
They'll have a statue of him somewhere in the middle of like a headquarters, and you'll walk by him every time.
Make him Zavala. You make him Zavala, and you make an open.
You make him the general. You make him the leader.
You make him the supreme leader of the.
I can see that working, but it's like I said, people are still gonna. First off, no one likes Zavala. First off, no one likes Zavala, so we ain't gonna go into that.
I'm a Cade guy, but you
should hate Zavala just as much as I do. Then
I do, but Zavala's still the guy. He's still the guy.
Look, I agree. You could take it that way, but to me, as a Halo fan for all these years, the only way to effectively take Master Chief off of that screen as a spotlight character is a noble death.
Yeah, Addict, to your point, man.
Him against Cortana.
Let's get our last few. Halo thoughts in.
Cortana would be awesome.
I've got about 65 other topics to hit in 45 minutes.
You know,
can I just chime in real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
To Addict's point about Master Chief, Master Chief's been a part of my gaming experience for the last 18 years, and I think Addict said something about a proper send away. I think that if they do it right, and they create the story arc in a way that makes you invested in Master Chief again, you care about him. He's going through this epic battle, and he dies. First of all, no one would expect that. Yeah, people are going to get pissed, but you can't please everyone. But I think for me, as a fan of Halo, like I would be like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to avenge Master Chief's death. I want to kill the person that killed Master Chief, and I think that maybe that emotional reaction of vengeance, I think that might do well for the story.
The problem is it would have needed to have been somebody that was introduced a while ago.
That's
right?
true, yeah.
The only other person that I could see them passing that torch to that is impossible to pass that torch to is the Arbor. He's the only other person people like almost maybe just as much,
like
a little less.
See,
and you can't make him. You can't make
that's
the
what I'm
Arbiter
saying,
the guy.
You can't pass it to him.
Listen, I'm still staunchly on the other side. Like maybe Master Chief is like 007. Maybe it's just a title, right? Maybe he dies and then somebody else is just Master Chief from that point on.
Locke.
I could see that, but I don't want Master Chief to go.
It is a title, though. If you get into the lore of it, it is just a title.
Yeah, exactly.
The dopest dude next to Master Chief. That's the only two characters.
And you know what I would like.
Let me say this real quick though. Okay. This game is going to do so many quote unquote players. Microsoft, who's super quiet about numbers and stuff. When the new Halo comes out, they're going to talk it up about money, and they're going to talk about how many players between like PC and X. It's going to do pretty well. They'll probably start off with a pretty high number of players. There's no way they're going to retire that. They're going to get started right away. Hell, 343 is named after the Guilty Spark. You know, they're a cover band. They know that. They, you know, if you go work for they are. You know, they know that. So like this game is going to do well. It's going to be a return to form to Halo. People are going to love it, and they're going to want the next one ASAP. And there will be a next one. Come on, like that's there's going to be another Forza.
Xbox,
you know what I mean? Like, come on.
Xbox, before I hand the mic over to you, hold on. Xbox, hold your thought real quick. Let me do and I want to introduce Gaming
But
Forte.
I do agree. It is time to move on. I see that, but it's like it is interesting because people usually they go, all you guys do is hate on Xbox, and then when we talk about a game and get excited about
why are you guys talking about games on Xbox?
Talking about games, yeah.
We can't win.
Hating on Xbox.
Welcome.
Halo for like an hour and a half.
Still talking about Halo.
Welcome,
man.
It's the life of Mooch and crap.
Games, guys.
Real quick, let me do a super chat, and then I also want to get to Gaming Forte here. Shout out to Humble Beast. He says early rumors had Coalition making Perfect Dark. I don't think that's going to happen. Game Knob says
I had heard that before as well. I mean, who knows? But listen, I can tell you this: I had heard that it's not the Initiative. The Initiative is doing something new.
Yeah.
So that's what I say too. I say good. I think that Perfect Dark stuff started. I think even
cut
before
that
the
shit
Initiative.
out.
Yeah, the Perfect Dark stuff started before the Initiative even were in a thing. So
Game Knob says, what are the two games that Sony are going to be releasing or not releasing, pardon me, but discussing in August? We'll get to that in a second. Sir X-Man says, I want my character to be more than just a Spartan. Sir X-Man comes back and says, wow, just get rid of Lara Croft. Why don't you? When we're talking about getting rid of Master Chief. Apex Alpha says, killing Chief like killing Mario? What the F? He's like, Microsoft's got 15 studios. I don't know what the 15 studios has to do with that. And then Fluffy Monkey says, Jerome and Isabel from Halo Wars 2 would be fantastic to pick up the mantle after Chief and Cortana. And also, the Geeky Nerd, who was not in the Super Chat, said that our Halo conversation has now superseded the length of Mixer. So, listen, I got to be honest with you. So,
just real quick, Mooch, I just want to say, like, dude, that was awesome. It felt like old school CrossFire for a while, man. It
really did. It was good. No, listen, I'm not going to venture far off, guys. We're going to keep on it. But I do want to kind of talk about the Xbox Games event in July, right? So, of course, Halo's going to be a major stakeholder in that. We just discussed it for an hour. We know that's going to be a big player. But besides that and the new game coming from the Initiative, what else is Phil really taunting when he's saying we're feeling good? I have a feeling he's going to start talking a lot about that program where you're going to be able to get a Series X for the low rate of $19.99 a month. I think we're going to hear a lot about Game Pass. I mean, is it going to be a lot of like car salesman stuff on hardware, or do you think that we're going to get a lot of games?
Let me hit this right quick.
No.
Let me get this out the way so that you guys can
So you puff pass.
Good shit.
Forte.
Good shit. I'm sparking as we speak, my brother. But seriously, like, listen, from my perspective, from my point of view, I know they're going to do something big. I really do think they're going to represent. I feel just like crap does. They are going to show, but for me, it's going to take more than this. I hope that they exceed all of my expectations. I really do. I really honestly do. Is that locking me in? Nope. Not locking me in for a Series X. I don't care what they show. That's just my mindset. I have my mindset that way. I will be looking at, just like I look at my stocks. I'm ready to make my investment. Just show me the way. Give me the reason why. You know what I mean? Yep. Let me know why I want to put my money in that.
That's what July is going to be all about, Knox, right? That's what it's got to do.
That's what it's got to do. That's what it's got to do.
Knox said they can knock it out the park, but he's still like, nah, we're good right now.
Well, Ford, it's at $5 a share right now. They're knocking it out the park. Ford. Yeah, why not, right?
Knock, seriously, buy Ford. Seriously, $5, buy it.
No, yeah, but I've already got 20. I did that. They're getting the respirator guys. Go ahead and invest in that.
I'm about to buy some stock tonight. Thank you for that stock tip, Maximus.
Listen, but the thing about
my man, put it to H2O. He's the stock genius here. But
the thing about the July event, though, I do see where Knox is coming from. But the only thing I would add to the caveat of that is that the reason that some may feel the way Knox does, where they wouldn't invest even if they get a little bit blown away by the games, is these games that we're going to see. Not the far out games that are 2 years out, possibly the initiatives and even Hellblade 2. But the games that we're going to see that are going to come out in the next year, we already have boxes in our homes or PCs that are going to play these games. So that's going to be the big deciding factor of the hype that leaves, I think, some of the show when we're watching in July, is that you're going to go, wow, those games look like a lot of fun. I can't wait to play them next year. Oh, are you buying a Series X? And some people are going to say, well, no, I'm going to play it on my Xbox One X, and then I'll play the Series. I'll buy a Series X, right, or PC, and I'll buy a Series X when they come out with a game that's only available on the Series X.
Mooch, I'm going
to ask, is it on PS5?
Right over me, bro.
I'm sorry, my dude, but I'm just gonna say real quick. I'm gonna ask, or is it on PS5? Like, I'm gonna ask that.
Well, the other thing is
it's the mind share. With
the other thing, Knox, is or if you're not subscribed to Game Pass, are you going to get Game Pass now to get these first party games?
Oh, hell yeah!
Or buy a box of Pop-Tarts. You know,
no, I'm not.
Those Pop-Tarts are going to be endangered species by that time, bro.
Oh, dude, if you don't think they're going to offer get everybody on board for the new Halo game for $1. And a box of Pop-Tarts, you're crazy. It's the best.
No, crap. Taco Bell.
Absolutely, yep. That is absolutely the best way that they're going to grow Game Pass again, right?
Real quick,
play the new Halo for $1. You know, play it for a Taco Bell thing. You know, like
okay, we get that. Yeah, we get that. All right, but Mooch, with you talking about this, like, there's so many factors that still aren't kind of like out there to the consumer or the gamer yet. Like, when it comes down to it. This Project Lockhart, which could possibly be $200, like, and for the people that, you know, are on a budget, might not want to invest into the next generation. If they can do that for $200,
Xbox,
$100. I don't see a system that's more powerful than the Xbox One X being $200.
No,
I think that is not fathomable.
Not with a Zen 2 CPU. Not with a SSD. That's that fast.
Listen. They don't even sell the SAD for that.
I'm thinking 300. I'm thinking 300 for the Lockhart. Anyway,
300 is the minimum. That's the minimum it's going to be.
I am messing around with rumors here. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing around with rumors here a little bit. So
but I can remember when they introduced the SAD, everybody was like, "That they're going to make a killing for that. They'll charge $150 for it, or
$150, yeah, $99
was way off.
Yeah, it ended up being like $250 or whatever.
Yeah,
so
that price point was way off.
$200. That thing sold out everywhere when it was at $200 now. So
yeah, so
that's the price. That's the price point. Like, it should have launched that. It should have launched that 200, and it would have sold.
Yeah. Gentlemen, there is no next gen console. I said it before, and I'll say it again. The Xbox One X set the tone. It set the price point. There is nothing
Not
that is
if
going
you
to
don't
be
want
under.
load times.
There is nothing that's going to be under $4.99, bot. That's it. Like that's going to be the minimum.
I will kindly disagree with you. How about that one?
Not $4.99.
I will kindly
minimum
disagree.
I do think that the Series X and the PS5 are both going to be $4.99. So.
I think that too. I think the digital version of the PS5 will be $450.
I'm not gonna say what I believe anymore.
And I think the Lockhart is going to be anywhere between.
I want to hear
Hold on.
I want to hear you $4.
Hold on. Let Slow-Mo finish, and then I want to hear Forte as well. Slow-Mo, you were saying your price points.
Yeah, and I think the Lockhart's going to be anywhere between $300 to $400. But it's going to be. I agree with Crap that at the top end, the Series X, the PS5 with the optical drive, $500.
Yep. Easy.
Listen, nobody's gonna it'd be foolish, and you don't gotta be an insider to realize nobody's going down that $5.99 US thing again. Nobody's gonna do that. You're gonna
completely lose the casual audience. They're not spending that much money, even though it may be worth that to them, to their eye. They're like, I may spend that much money on my phone.
Can I ask you a question though, guys?
That much money on my console.
Let me ask you a question though. But Phil and company have been tweeting nonstop for the past X amount of, maybe about 2 weeks at least, about this whole that program they have, and they're emphasizing that. The reason that they're kind of bringing that, the reason they're bringing that up is I'm wondering if, I'm just throwing this volleyball up in the air, guys. I'm not saying I think this, but is it feasible that they're going to have the guts to come out and say, listen, we've got a $600 Beast and we've got a $300 Lockhart, and both of them are available for. One's $27 a month, and the other one will be $19.99 a month.
Here's the thing. I think
here's the difference with that.
They would avoid that $5.99. They're
not going to propose it that way, though. Crap, they're going to talk about $24 a month or $20 a month.
But Mooch, here's the difference between that and when cell phone carriers do that. You're already paying your cell phone carrier a monthly fee for your cell phone,
right?
So when they say. Yes, true. Everyone pays a cell phone bill. Now, hold on. If someone if someone says, all right, you're already paying $80 a month, this is just an additional $25 on top of what you're already paying. It's easier for people to say, yeah, I'll go ahead and prorate my new cell phone for 2 years.
You're already invested,
versus a brand new payment that you're going to have with
Xbox
Microsoft.
Fans are paying Xbox fans are already paying for Game Pass monthly, according to them. Right? Everybody's paying $10 a month, which I don't think is true.
Yeah, you got to remember they also advertise the monthly payment program with the Xbox One X too. So
yes, they did. This is not a new program.
Yeah, so I don't know if that necessarily means. I see where you're going, but
you used to be able to get those at the Microsoft Store.
Which is
Microsoft Store, by the way.
That's why I was saying.
Well, okay, let me give the mic to Forte. Forte, I definitely want to hear your take on price and this program.
I already been said what my price point was. I said these systems are gonna come in at $600, and the cheaper ones are gonna just be a lot cheaper.
Know what, Forte?
Go ahead.
I'm starting to be there with you, man. After many years of fighting it, I think the Xbox Series X and the PS5 are both going to be $6. The discless version is going to be $4.99, and the Lockhart's going to be $3.99.
That's not outrageous, guys. It's really, if you take a step back, it's not outrageous.
There's too big of a disparity. You can't have one for $600 and another one for $300.
The thing is we just don't know the mindset behind this stuff going on. We don't know how much this stuff costs. We don't know how much all this pandemic stuff is interfering.
Hey, Digital Foundry did do a video about the PS5, right? And they were right on the money with the One X. Listen, a lot of people, including me and Mooch, I think we were on board for $399 Xbox One X.
Absolutely.
And the reason being was you wanted to compete. The generation was only half over. If you really wanted to go out there and compete, $399 would have been that price point to do that. They failed to do that.
$499.
Yeah, and then it ended up coming out $499. To your credit, you did. Now listen, people are like the Lockhart's going to be $250. Get out of here. That Lockhart ain't going to be. Hell, the One X. The One X, if it's discontinued, is still $300, right? I doubt that they're gonna. There's no way that's gonna be $250. No, so again, though, man, Digital Foundry said that the PlayStation 5 will be $550 and $450, right? They says there's possibility of $399 if Sony wants to lose some money, but again, that's up on them. They want people to switch over fast. And
these guys aren't trying to lose money. They've already seen that Nintendo never loses money. Nintendo knows how to play the market.
Keep this in mind: the Xbox Elite controller is almost $200 by itself, right?
Yeah,
and it's worth every penny. I'm not even gonna front.
Yeah,
it's worth every penny.
I just personally feel like, to me, that they're being really quiet on this price for a reason. I think they both know that their price is where the consumers aren't going to like it, and they want the other person to jump off the bridge first and say their price. Because I think they both know that both are $5.99. They just want the other person to jump off the bridge first.
I think it's just a chess match. I honestly can't see them pricing $5.99.
I think they got multiple price points. They have multiple price points.
That's why I think they made the all digital version.
They have a floor and they have a ceiling, and that's why they want the other one to go, because if the other one goes like crazy and does what you guys want and goes $600, they could go home. Well, maybe we will undercut them, and then we can say we're cheaper and we're more powerful, or whatever. It's a way of marketing.
Microsoft threw away $100 million on Ninja and Shroud. They don't give a shit. They're not gonna price that $5.
But here's the thing: the first company says
I think the reason that they made that all digital thing is because they know they got a price point no one's gonna like, and so they're trying to cut as much off the price as possible. So I mean, Ultra 4K you would say $50, so it would bring it down to $550, and then I think they're willing to take a loss on those digital versions because they know you're not going to be buying stuff from GameStop to put in there. They know that you're going to be buying nothing but digital license that they get 30% of to 100% of, depending on if it's first party. So they're willing to take more of a loss on those consoles because they know they're going to get it back in the long run because you're not putting physical media in that system.
Let me do the super chats real quick, Brap. And actually, I'm going to you first. Brap says, kill Chief, kill Grounded. So shout out to Brap, who's on the panel. Appreciate that, Brap. Sir X-Man says, here's what you do with Cortana comes to life. And if not, she comes out of her outfit and the love between them. Sir X-Man, it sounds like you're writing a novel. Shout out to Sir X-Man.
It's hot in here,
like some softcore fan.
Yeah, right? I was like, I don't know if I can. This is a PG-13 show. I got WoolleyGamer.
I like Skinemax.
That's what he is.
Shout out to WoolleyGamer, who says, please send Supernova Gaming some love. He's been in the hospital for 2 weeks. Yes, I actually spoke to him today. 12 T-flops, yo. P.S. Love you guys. Wooly, thank you. And he says, what do you call PS4 Pro with an SSD? A Lockhart. Okay.
And true. Check that Jaguar CPU at the door.
Beast, maybe you call it a beast.
True Witty says, so does it mean
Jaguar CPU at the door?
True Witty says, so does it mean Microsoft is going broke since they are selling their property off? Plus, Xbox won't sell, as well as Xbox. Phil said you need to buy too. Appreciate that, True Witty. Thank you.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't follow that one.
Yeah, I didn't either.
That went over the top of my head.
No, that's that. I know what he meant. Yeah. No, that's not happening.
Hey, I just want to. Yeah, I'm gonna say something real quick, Mooch. I forget what industry analyst said this, but I think they were saying that I don't know if it was Z Huge or someone else, but they said that the production for the Xbox Series X was at like 550. And I think it was about.
I thought it was 470, and then PS5 was 450.
Yeah, no, it was like 550 for the Series X and for like 475 for the PS5. So I think they're playing a game of chicken. I think Sony could look at it this way. If it's 450, 475 for production, they could even say, you know what, we're going to sell this at 500.
Xbox is like, yo, Sony, for once in your life, you go first this time.
Yeah.
Listen. Let me tell you what's really happening. What's really happening is they're not going to go. Enrique, this is what's happening, my dude.
Yeah. Enrique.
All right, Enrique,
come on. Hey, you Latino, man. Come on.
Enrique, mi hermano, carajo.
Carajo, right.
Oye lo que voy a decir, okay?
All right,
man. It goes like this. Look, they are just looking. They're going to sit down and go, yo, my dude, we're going to settle on this price, right? We're going to come out at $499, right? Both of us going to do this. We're going to make this squat, baby. We're going to get this money. That's what they're doing. All right, whether we think about it or not, whether, stop your affiliation, stop your emotional attachments to corporations and all that nonsense. They're sitting down looking at how they're going to maximize their dollars, both of them. They're going to agree on this because it It benefits the both of them, and it benefits us.
They're going to sell no matter what, though.
Only if you being a thirsty ass dude.
They're not selling out at $600 a unit.
Exactly. They're not selling out at $600. They need to. You can't be thirsty for it.
The PlayStation 3 did sell out.
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did not.
At launch, it sold out.
Hold up.
At launch, it sold out.
The PS3 did not sell out at $600. Why would they drop the price then? Why would they change? Why would they change the console a year later?
I just said at launch.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. One at a time.
I agree with Shlomo. It did not.
I said at launch.
At launch,
not even at launch.
Yes, it did. They weren't sitting in store.
Only when they had the 2 SKUs. Forte, they had 2 SKUs.
At launch, the PlayStation 3 sold out at launch.
At launch because they had 2 SKUs.
And both of them sold out.
Only when the thirsty dudes couldn't get the
No. Don't try to convince it about being thirsty.
That's the truth. That's the truth of what happened.
Listen, if they
I got my shit on the back of a truck.
Listen, if they release this system at $600, people still gonna go out and buy it. And it's gonna sell out.
Yeah.
No, we can't do that. We can't. We got.
Hold on. Listen. All right. So wait. That's a hypothetical thing. We'll look that up. That's all on Wikipedia. Listen. Here's the thing. I want to kind of get into the Mixer. I do want to talk about Mixer because I know that this is something that we talked a little bit about the July show, but Mixer was kind of a thing, right? And I think that Microsoft wanted Mixer to do something, not just. I don't think they just wanted it to rival Twitch. I really thought that they were going to use that. And I mean, Xbox. A lot of people have written me. And when the minute they were like, you got to ask Xbox, because he thought for certain that they were going to be able to utilize Ninja, who was originally a Halo player, and it was a big thing. Halo, do you think that this, like, the whole thing kind of fell apart? But I'm asking you not from the Ninja standpoint, Xbox. I want to ask you because you were on Mixer a lot. And so was Mel. Like, what do you think, like, went wrong? I have my opinion on it. I think honestly, every time I went to go watch you guys, I had a hard time with the audio. It was always stuttering. I know that they were trying to get things where it was like no delay and everything was crisp and clear, and it worked sometimes, but sometimes it didn't.
The technology behind it was absolutely incredible.
On paper,
bar none. It worked really well, dude. To be really honest with you, when it comes down to it, first off, I want to give a shout out to a lot of people that that stream on Mixer. Like I feel so bad for you guys. Like, Oh Snap It's Mel. She was strictly on Mixer. She didn't like dealing with the bullshit with YouTube when it came to music. And with Twitch, she was like, no matter how much I stream or anything like that, it was really hard to gain subscribers. Their algorithm is like almost non-existent on Twitch,
so you got to just stand out.
Yeah, you just got to stand out. So when it comes down to it, for the people who did like Mixer, we're streaming on Mixer. My heart goes out to you guys because I feel that Microsoft themselves fucked this whole thing up. All right, when it comes down to it, signing the big names, and I said it when they did that. I was like, that's huge. I mean, because you look at it, you look at the name, like, oh shit, that is huge. I mean, whatever, 30 million for this person, 10 million for that person or whatnot. But the thing is, they never really put it out there in marketing and advertising. They advertise on their own devices, like the Xbox and stuff like that.
That's their downfall for a lot of times. And Greenberg has said, he's like, nobody watches TV. We advertise on our dashboard, and it's
brother,
like, okay,
you have agreed on this point for years now when it comes to their marketing, and they feel like because it's integrated into the system. What about like my brother Sir X-Man out there who loves the simplicity of Mixer? When he doesn't want to put up, the kind of like overlays and stuff, but he still wants to stream, has it right there on his system.
Well, what really is strange is they spent all this money for these big name streamers, right? And then like right after that, you hear that they're running a skeleton crew and next to nobody actually working there. So you kind of wonder, why did they bother to get streamers if they aren't going to support it?
Yeah,
with the crew that they need.
Yeah,
Remember,
you don't see a downfall like that not coming ahead of time, right? I mean,
and I thought it was really crummy the way that they didn't tell anybody until like the tweet. Like you don't tell your streamers or your employees.
That's why when they say Microsoft's, everyone's like Microsoft's the most consumer friendly, but slow down.
Yeah, I was, that was pretty upsetting.
Like their customer service is really good. I think that's what a lot of people kind of when they talk about Microsoft and stuff. Like you can get a hold of Microsoft either online or over the phone, and 9 times out of 10 you're gonna get your problem fixed, and you're gonna get extra for going through the bullshit. I think that's what they're talking about when it's their customer service. Everything else though, like when it comes down to it, I think one of the biggest kind of like black eyes that is on Microsoft's face is their marketing. When it comes down to it, I think they feel like they can kind of like generally market through all the divisions the same way, and you can't do that. All right, each division has their own their own unique user base, has their own unique kind of like potential for consumers, and you got to look at them individually and market or cater to that consumer base there. And I don't think Microsoft does that.
Brother, I can agree with that, Bob.
I don't know. For some reason, I maybe I'll say this. I'm biased with it. I looked at the both platforms. I had just about the same amount of followers on Mixer and Twitch. And I'll be honest with you, I felt like I myself, and this has nothing to do with this past week, I just felt like Twitch was the better product. I think it was a better place if you wanted to start your streaming career. You wanted to be out there. I'm not doing a streaming career.
I remember us getting some pretty big numbers on Mixer at first.
Oh my God, we had over 100 people watching us play Sea of Thieves. Like that's not an easy feat for any streamer. Okay, I mean,
100 people wanted to watch that crap.
Addict.
Oh, shut
up.
Hold up.
People watching us play Friday the 13th too.
I just want to drop some sales figures on what we were talking about a little while ago about PS3. I know we're on to a different topic, but hey, look, I'm petty, so I do this. Sony expected.
You could be petty in 15 seconds, Slomo. I appreciate the invite. I gotta go.
Addict, thank you so much.
Yeah. So I see everyone in the comment section. I agreed with my $5.99. That's fine. I hope I'm wrong. But I definitely appreciate the invite, and I'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you, Addict. I got his information up on the screen. Thank you, Addict.
Woo! Sony expected to sell 6 million units by the end of their fiscal year, and by March 2007, and they only sold 3.68 million in that time period. So it did not sell out.
Wait, hold on. What does that have to do with the fact that it still sold out day one?
It didn't sell.
It did. They didn't meet. They literally cut back.
Slow mo.
Back on it because it wasn't selling.
It always sells out day one because
that's all we were saying. That's
the hardcore.
Yeah, I think we're getting confused here. I think that it had.
It's always going to sell out day one.
Guys,
it didn't do well, but
the minute they restocked, it sat in there. But what Forte's saying is they got their initial shipment and it went out.
Okay, Forte. The initial 20 units per store sold out. Congratulations! Now, by December, they're collecting dust on shelves. That's not a great look. That's not what me and Knox were talking about. We were saying that price point did not get people in. That price point did not want people. Only the people who were willing to pay that money went out there and bought that day one. After they're gone, everyone else is like, "You better drop that price, bro."
Word up, and that's when they came back. When they dropped that price and dropped them dope ass games.
That's like the 2007 problem.
All right, listen. Let me and you know what? And I do appreciate Slow Mo for doing that detective work. I do appreciate that. But guys, I want to come to full circle real quick because I want to finish up with Mixer, and I do want to get to the Last of Us sales real quick. So in all honesty, did anybody else I was kind of shocked that Mixer just closed, right? I mean, I didn't expect closed.
I wasn't. It's the elephant graveyard of gaming. Microsoft.
I didn't think it would close until next. I thought I'd give it another year or so.
Listen,
let's see what the Xbox Series X.
The launch of the new system.
Skype went over there and died. Skype went over there and died. It's the elephant graveyard of gaming, right? Skype went there and died.
Groove music,
Zune music died.
See, I like leaving. I don't know. Let me ask you guys if this bugged you guys. Like,
they have no faith in anything. They don't
I love having all my notifications on my TV. I love it when all my friends pop on. I love seeing it. I love it because that's what it's all about. It's the community being involved. But the one thing that bugged me about Mixer was because let me tell you something. I don't care if you streamed on Mixer or Twitch or YouTube. I don't care. Every once in a while, more often than once, you have to restart your stream. So every time somebody would start on Mixer,
it's great. Starting their stream.
Yep.
I still get that to this
day.
It's
like
I'm just stream. He's broadcasting.
I'm just picking on Xbot. Yeah. Xbot 448 is broadcasting. Xbot 448 is broadcasting. If you haven't heard, Xbot 448 is broadcast, and it's like it's popping up on.
Man.
Well, I did tune in, but my point being is,
I would have tuned in, but you're gonna get my first name right.
Oh, so I mean, I gotta be.
Where's Dr. Disrespect gonna go now, Mooch?
Dude,
I don't know, man.
I'm name right.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
We gotta wait. I was gonna wait till next week to get into that because I don't know what they're not releasing what it was. But I gotta tell you, I'm shocked to hear that he's one of their, if not the biggest moneymaker Twitch has. So I mean,
you know what's messed up about this, Mooch? You know what's really messed up about this? Like I can see it right now. You remember when Mixer was Beam, right?
Yes.
All right. There was technology in there. There was technology in there for the ability to stream at super low latency.
That's right.
When it comes down to it, what do you think is in xCloud? That Beam technology just formatted in a way for you to play a game.
I'll buy
that.
So
when it came down to it, they watched the heart. They grabbed the heart of Mixer, put it in xCloud, and said, "Guess what? No more Mixer, guys.
Dead Mixer." But why do that?
Why pay Ninja? Why bring over Shroud?
Instead of why not capitalize on that? You know what I mean? Like if you got a forum. You got a forum where you can speak a loud voice. Why neglect it and let it go to the wayside? It makes no sense.
But see, the difference is, look, Microsoft, I think what they were fighting an uphill battle when it came to Mixer. Twitch is just one of those things that's just you, especially when you got Twitch, then you got YouTube, and they're all owned by trillion-dollar companies.
But if you're gonna get in the frying pan, expect to get burnt, my dude.
They did get burned. They expected to get burned and got.
They took an L. They didn't get burned. They took an L.
Hold up. With that whole Mixer stuff, whenever you try to watch any kind of big event, I'd always have to switch over to something else because even though the tech is okay,
that's my point.
People, once you got a good amount of people there, it's hold on, we got that little screen where they're sitting on the couch watching something.
Yeah, it was screen tearing. It was bad. The audio was always off, and that's why Xbox like, well, the technology worked. It didn't. That's the thing. It didn't.
It never worked.
I just think
it was lower latency interaction. But once you up the number of people in it, it really got kind of bad. You know what I mean? So I mean, I feel bad for the streamers in the way.
I do too.
I think Microsoft kind of gave you the behind the curtain look at what they were thinking about Mixer when Phil Spencer came out with the statement talking about why they were closing it down and stuff. I think
it's good for gamers. That was the scale cancellation. I confused things.
Don't get them confused, Scrap. Don't do that.
Go ahead.
Don't have a mental slip like that.
Hold on, let me do a couple of super chats, and then I want to get to The Last of Us. We're going to face it, which is a great interest here. Face 23 says, even with the controversy, Last of Us 2 sold over 4 million. Do you think they will go on to a new IP or make The Last of Us 3? And I also want to do a huge shout out to Jessica Pham. Jessica says, showing some love. Great show, guys. Last of Us 2 is game of the year. I got to be honest with you, Jessica. I'm probably about 60% through the game. I'm going to absolutely destroy it the next 2 days to finish it, and then I'm going to start it again on Survivor mode. But I got to be honest with you, right now it is definitely my game of the year, but I'm not at the end yet, so I do want to feel the emotions everyone is feeling. But thank you so much for the generous donation, Jessica. Thank you. That means the world.
You still got Godfall coming out this year too, by the way.
Well, take it easy there, Xbox.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Play that on PC. Don't play that on console.
Sir X-Men says Cortana. Sir X-Men's here with Chapter 7. He says Cortana becomes human chief. Changes out of his Spartan gear, put on some clothes, and him and Cortana run away. Maybe I read that before, but I got to be honest with you.
It's still fan fiction at its finest.
Fan fiction at its absolute finest. True Witty comes out and says, how long before they sell off the Xbox platform completely? Wow, True Witty.
Hold your breath. Hold your breath and wait for that, okay?
I don't think they would do that. I think the more likely thing is if the Xbox sales aren't where they want them to be, I could see them publishing their games elsewhere. You know what I mean? I don't think they're going to go, oh, we can totally get away. But I bet they could talk the fans that they have right now into just, hey, we still got a console, but we're also going to release games on PlayStation and Nintendo. And you know what I mean? I think they could probably get away with that. And you would have a contingent of people that would be okay with that.
Yes.
Right. Like personally, it would totally eliminate a need for an Xbox at all, despite it being quote unquote more powerful. Like that's one less expense and one less online, one less subscription, whatever. You know what I'm saying? If I could get those couple of games that are really good from Xbox somewhere else, then no need for Xbox at all. So I do think that could be something, but probably won't see that for a few years at least. I mean, it does seem like they are going in as far as much as they can. Again, sort of like how they did with Mixer, but I think there's a longer leash on Xbox.
Yes, a longer leash.
Mixer,
well, look at it. Like they had the Samsung TV deal crap. They're doing this, this Lockhart's probably, what Lockhart's going to turn into? Their version of an Apple TV, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
do something, get VR on there, Phil.
No, that's not happening.
I'm hearing Cyberpunk might be VR. Like, come on, man, that sounds fun.
Right,
like
listen,
I'm only interested in that game.
Man, he got to go through with his on that.
I'm only interested in that game if there is VR.
I actually think it should be really easy for them to. They're already trying to do some partnership with Facebook, right, for xCloud. Facebook owns Oculus. Let's take it a step further. Get Oculus. Right? Get like a black and green Xbox looking color themed Oculus for the Xbox platform. I mean, like even then you don't even have to put in the R&D to create your own device. It's already created.
Slow-mo with RGBs lit up on the side.
Of course. You know you got to do
it. Exactly. Not only that, but there's like 10 different Windows VR machines. Like, you have this thing that's basically a PC in the Series X. Just allow them to hook it up for people that maybe want to use that. I just think that would be smart. I've always been kind of salty by the fact that they never went through with that, VR stuff, because I'm pretty big into VR. And, you hear stuff like Cyberpunk, which I don't like first person RPGs, but if I can be in that world, that maybe ticks that box a little bit and says, oh, that'd be interesting.
And that's a company that is going to deliver.
Yeah,
because they just are. They're like
they're
like Rockstar.
That's like that Star Wars Squadrons game, right? That's a VR game on PlayStation, man. That's all day I'm flying around in an X-wing.
Yeah,
in VR, right? Like
is that from EA though?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Star Wars Squadrons, man.
That's
day one
VR.
Yeah.
I don't have the VR shit. I sold.
I got news for you. I have the PSVR and I got the Oculus Rift. And let me tell you something. We've come a long way, guys. This isn't the VR conversation we had 2.5, 3 years ago. Okay, now we've gone from experiences to games.
Yeah.
Now we're playing games. They took this thing and they went serious with it. Where before it was be the Batman for 4 minutes. I don't want to be the Batman for 4 minutes. It takes me 20 minutes to put the headset together. I don't want to be the Batman for 4 minutes. But this is an entire game. I got news for you. The games that I'm experiencing on the Rift, and I got news for the PSVR 2 is going to be mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It's going to be utterly mind-blowing.
So people were asking, they're like, should I get that Iron Man thing? Listen, I would pick it up. They're not going to come out with PSVR 2 for at least a couple of years.
Yeah, a couple of years.
Yeah, like they're not going to come out with an expensive, because it's too expensive right now to come out with that. And PSVR is going to work on the PlayStation 5 as well, and they're still going to come out with VR games and then it'll work. So, if I would suggest it, especially if you can get one for, on the cheaper $250, something like that. Well worth it. Hell, I got mine at full price and I felt like it was well worth it because I always buy, whenever they do the sales and stuff. In fact, there's a VR Dead. What the hell is that? Walking Dead, right?
Yes.
Amazing experience.
Great
game on that, right?
Yep.
Like it's holy shit.
Yep.
Okay, so trust me when I just say that. Even the new Resident Evil 8 is going to be VR on PlayStation.
I think people should buy. Yeah, I think people should buy VR just for the new Iron Man. I got a chance to play it.
It's good, isn't it? Yeah.
And it's so good.
Yeah.
That's awesome to hear. That's awesome to hear.
You guys just sold me on VR. I think I'm going to buy it this weekend.
Listen, my brother.
Get it.
My brother told me about that Resident Evil 7. Just Resident Evil 7 on VR.
Yeah.
He told me you scared the shit
Listen,
out of him.
I'm all about trying anything.
Dude,
some of these games.
We got Oculus in this house. We have a HTC Vive, and the owners of those things.
HTC Vive's no joke.
That's a good one.
The owners of those things.
Yes.
Don't even use them. They just sit
Who's
next
that?
to
Is
the
that
computer. Huh?
Is O-Snaps not using it?
Snaps has the Oculus, and my oldest son
Man,
has
get in there and
the
start
Vive.
using those things, man.
Yeah, they're great, dude.
That's on you. That's on you.
Yeah.
Xbox, feel free to send them
They're
our
not
way,
mine. They're not mine, bro.
Well, I mean, well,
They are yours. They're under your house.
Hey, here they start using them.
Yeah,
So I have a question in the super chat, and then I want to go to Forte for the main topic here. But Static Fox says, "Hey, do you think Halo will have a higher Metacritic than Cyberpunk?"
No.
Oh, I got the answer. Meta who?
Oh,
Meta
What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
the answer is no.
Yeah, I don't think so. Listen, I think Halo's going to do extremely well. It'll be a return to form. What Halo 5 got an 84 or something. It was the lowest rated mainline Halo. I think this one's like an 89 or something. It could maybe get a 90, but I just think, and I don't think that's really 100% tells the story, because I think once you get 6, 7, 8, 10, whatever games it is into that franchise, that people are a little bit more reluctant to give out a perfect score or a 9.5. Just because it's been done so many times before. It's not the original studio. And I think that the same thing would happen, like if Naughty Dog decided to go back and do another Uncharted, or that San Diego studio that's rumored to be working on a new Uncharted. I don't think that those will get 90s anymore either. I think those are going to be like mid 80s, upper 80s. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, to me, once you start getting into the 4, 5, 6 type categories, you don't really just see that happen very often, where they're going to continue to do that. You know, unless you're Grand Theft Auto. I know, don't throw that up, shove that in my face. I get it. Grand Theft Auto is its own thing, right? Like, people love that stuff. I'm not a big Grand Theft Auto fan, but I mean,
milking GTA 5, by the way.
Dude, if you were making all that kind of money,
that game is going to go 3 generations, and that's never been seen before.
listen, people use that game.
Milking it, baby.
People use that, and kids use that game to meet up as a social place, sort of like PlayStation Home used to be, right? They go in there, they spin the wheel, they spend real money. Shark card. Like, literally, they're making
those
dollars, billions of dollars. People buy the physical copies when they're on sale for $15-20 to get that $1 million shark card, because it's cheaper to do that. That's why that game physically keeps selling so well, right? Like, I'm telling you, I would never make another GTA game as long as that one's doing so well. Like, no wonder they're just kind of sitting back and just letting that roll in.
We need a new backdrop, man. We need a new story. GTA 6, come on.
GTA at this point is a free-to-play game. You're paying for the shark cards every
That's
time
right.
you buy.
The only thing that's going to topple GTA 5 is GTA 6. Like,
probably, but they're gonna.
I mean, Red Dead couldn't do it. Red Dead couldn't do it, and they
Red
tried.
Dead couldn't do it. They did try.
I never even bothered with the online on that. I love the campaign though.
I mean, and that game was great. Like, oh man.
Well, let me ask Forte a question before we call it a night. I want to ask Forte, because I mean, 4 million. Crap, you know the numbers here. It's 4 million that
in the first 3 days. Yeah,
first 3 days
over 4 million,
4 million. They're saying it could be 5 when they actually had the report out. Forte, what are you still selling The Last of Us 2 like mad?
We're out. We've been out for a while.
I guess that answers that.
I bet you have been.
I guess that answers that.
Well, I mean, listen,
he only got 12 copies in, though.
He got 12.
Hold on, let's for
the pre-order, and then 49 for the others.
I had the most in my region because my store was one of the stores that was still open during the pandemic, because I was doing at the door. So we got a higher supply than pretty much every other store did due to that. So we had a lot, and like, we were the last store to still have it. Like, all the other stores were sending people to me to get the copies. So it did really well. I think overall it was twofold. It was just like how Animal Crossing benefited at the beginning of the pandemic, where everybody didn't have nothing to play and they wanted to sit at home and they wanted to just get something to play. This is the opposite of that. People were out and about and they're just thirsty to play something new. And this is one of the best games that, you know, people talk about the most, and a lot of people are just listening to word of mouth from other people saying, yeah, man, Last of Us is a really, really good game. And they're taking word of mouth because, like, check out all the games that people normally would buy this early in the year, because I don't think if all these games like Cyberpunk and everything would not have gotten pushed to the end of the year, I don't think Last of Us would have sold as good as it did. It was still so great, but I think the casual fans that didn't have anything else to play, those people picked up the game because all they've been doing is sitting at home, twiddling their thumbs, playing the games more than they normally play. And Last of Us is something fresh and new. And I think Ghost of Tsushima is going to do the same exact thing. That's that's another game.
I bet Microsoft wishes they had like a big AAA to push out during this time, to be honest with you. Like, damn. Because if you look at it, like Sony and Nintendo are cleaning up with that.
Yeah. This game took the bar for a lot of games. That's crazy.
But just to give a thought on that Halo on the Metacritic or just the review score on it, I got it depends on how they review it. If they review that game as a single player experience, I think it will hit in the 90s. Because I think with this whole Atriox and this whole Banish thing that they're starting to add expectations to the game that a lot of people didn't have, and I think they're probably going to knock it out of the park when it comes to that side of it. Now, if the reviewers review this as a ongoing games as a service, it's not even gonna hit high 80s. It's gonna probably hit like 85, just because I don't think it, like, you take all of the games and all the developers that had to build a game like that, even knowing the trials and tribulations of other studios doing it, none of them been able to do it right outside the box.
Yeah. Well, if you look at it, right, like I agree, because I said the same thing. I'm like, if they have a bunch of transactions in it right away and it's not really complete, then you could be looking at a bit of a problem, because you can look at games that Microsoft has done and they've traditionally been doing that. Look, Sea of Thieves. That game launched so bare bones. I think it's a 69 on Metacritic, but a lot of places re-reviewed it at the 2-year mark and gave it like an 8.5. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if they would have released it with all the content it has now, it probably would have been an 80 or, a little bit higher than that. So if they're, and same thing with like Rainbow Six Siege, that game got tore apart. And now it's like one of the most played games ever with like a ton of content. So
if they reviewed it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the problem. That's the problem with games as a service, right? When we got these games as a service, that they hold the right to just do that, right? To just put out whatever the hell they want, and you just gotta pretty much eat it, right? Like,
yeah.
Let's wrap it up, Mooch. I'm getting tired. I'm old.
I'm sorry about that. Giselle Holbert in the chat. He just comes in with a super chat. He says, if Xbox gets great exclusives, what does Sony have better than Xbox? It seems like Xbox has been working on everything but games. Seems silly to think they are not focusing on games this whole time too.
This is the thing.
Makes
sense.
sense.
Just be one game though. If Xbox could come out with have a really great game, they could show us a really great game at this reveal in July. But it can't just be one, and it's not going to happen overnight.
I agree.
Giselle said
it has to be consistent.
You have to show me a major game plan going forward.
Not only that, but just they're different. They go about things differently, because Sony are the absolute, in my opinion, best at single player AAA photorealistic games. Like they do it better than I can't even think of many companies that just do single player games anymore. Like the ones that used to now do, they add so much bloat to it, like Assassin's Creed and stuff like that. It's like it's kind of crazy. So they do the best at that. Where Microsoft back in the 360 era used to do the best multiplayer games, in my opinion, like Halo 3 and the Gears. They used to, believe it or not, they used to announce on their blog how many players they had on their games, right? Like Halo 3 had 28 million players, and we had 1.6 million players concurrently, and I can remember Black Ops 2 having 3 million players at one time on the 360. Like those are the player counts we used to get on Xbox, and then they took all that out because obviously the player counts aren't as high anymore. But, it's really, I agree 100%. It depends on how they present this game. If it's a games as a service, it probably won't score that high. But again, Destiny didn't score high, and it seems to have a lot of players, and I think Microsoft would be happy with the player count.
What did Destiny score at, Crap? Do you remember the number?
Wasn't it like a 79 or
the first Destiny was in the 70s. The second one was like low 80s.
Play it for 20 hours, and then you have fun with it. And I was like, screw that. I know.
Actually, after the first 20 hours, Crap, is when people started getting really fed up.
I hate that saying. Like, it really ramps up like 20 hours.
It really
gets going. I used to say, like, hey, I was excited, right? Here's Bungie, and this game I thought it was going to be like Halo, but like an online type Halo, and it was totally like I never really got into it. I know a lot of people love it, but it's like you really got to keep grinding on that, and that's not my thing.
I'm just super. I'm crazy interested to see. I'm shocked it keeps the player base. As much as I love the game, they keep a player base. Like, it was 2 million people that played that game yesterday.
Yeah. Hey, I was surprised that it does so well, but I mean, like, those are those live games. Those are what Phil really wants. You know, like that kind of situation.
I hate to do this, but I gotta run. It was a great show.
Well, listen, actually, Xbot, I'm gonna do a wrap up right now. I'll let you and Crap go first, then I'll do the Right? Last of Us is coming up, guys. I got Last of Us to go. But Xbot, let me say real quick to the audience, outstanding show tonight. This was a lot of fun. I got to be honest with you. This was a lot of games. We talked this, right? It really was a ton of fun. This was an amazing
Nobody can complain about Xbox hating this because I don't think there was any. I think
no, there was no Xbox hate. Xbox 448's defense, his degree was just left on the wall tonight. Yeah. Listen, I got to be honest with you guys. Awesome show. Thanks for the chat. Thank you guys for the super chat. Thank you guys. Please do. I didn't say right above the description is the join button. Do consider joining and becoming a Mooch Maniac. It truly means a lot. But I will do my outros real quick. I'll start with Xbot 448 because he mentioned he's got to go. Xbot, it is always an absolute honor, privilege, and a great time talking games with you, brother. Let people know where they can find you, and thank you so much.
No doubt, brother. There's no place I'd rather be every Friday night than here, right here on CrossFire with this panel and with this chat. Shout out to you guys. My show is going live tomorrow, 7 p.m. on my YouTube channel. Yes, it is the next podcast. We will have special guest Wilmy Hood there.
Oh, nice.
It's going to get really, really interesting. The topics are really good. I can't wait to start that show. I would start it right now if I could, but go over to my channel, check it out tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern. And thanks again, panel. Thanks again, chat. I am out.
Appreciate it, Xbot. And then I've got the man himself. He's making videos galore, and he's not just great at it. He's unscripted. Crap. Let people know where they can find you.
Crap Gamer Reviews. Not only that, but I've made some changes. I know Mooch,
they're great. So, I watch them all the
time. I've done a little bit more long form and taken some more effort to edit and stuff like that. So, go check it out and let me know, give me some feedback and stuff like that. I've been, keeping busy with it, and hopefully I'm going to put together a podcast soon. I want something kind of like this, where it's not everybody just agreeing, but you can have difference of opinions, and
absolutely.
Those are the more fun ones to watch. But it was a really good show today. Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe and all that kind of good stuff. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, Crap. Thank you so much.
Good show, guys.
Great show. And then I've got Gaming Forte. I know that you worked late and you're always busting your hump. You're always doing so much work and you're filled in for people. But guess what? You still made the show, and that means so much to me. So all I can say is thank you from the bottom of my heart, and let people know where they can find you.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's Gaming Forte everywhere. YouTube, Twitter, Xbox Live, everywhere, literally. It was a great show as always. Shout out to PlayStation. They just tweeted out a tweet about the new Iron Man VR game that we were talking about. There literally is a tweet for their YouTube channel that's showing you off the new environments, combat maneuvers, the cast and details, along with upgrade abilities and everything else. So if you're interested in that game, go check out the latest tweet that they put out for that game. That's going to be really cool. I really liked it. It was fire. And check out Basement Radio Podcast. Enrique's here. He's going to fit that out because we're killing it over there. And then check us out on Primetime Gaming with Mr. Boomstick, and then the lovely Ashley Luca tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Yes, check out, definitely. You guys are absolutely, and I got to say, not only is Brap doing great, but I'm enjoying every Saturday at Scumcast. It is an unbelievable show. So much heart, like literally so much emotion. It's great. And I love the new edition of Hustle and Motivate.
I was honestly going to say, shout out to Hustle and Motivate, the man with the smooth voice, man.
Yes, he is.
Together on that show.
He was going to be on tonight, but he couldn't make it. He's going to be on next week. Real quick, I just got a message from Slow-Mo. Gaming Forte, thank you. Slow-Mo, I know you also have to go. I kept you guys here way past 9 o'clock hour. We started a little late. I appreciate you staying later. Slow-Mo, it is always awesome. I liked how you called it petty, but I just call it homework, man. You do your homework. You know what you're talking about, and I love having you on the show. Slow-Mo, let people know where they can find you.
Yeah, this was an awesome show. I didn't expect us to do 1 hour, over an hour.
I didn't either.
Halo talk, but I loved it. I loved every second of it.
Yeah, it was nice,
freaking awesome. Check out my YouTube channel. I do a lot of content on just games. It doesn't matter the platform, as long as the game that's fire or I think is fire. I do. Grounded is like doesn't fit that category, so that's why it's not going to be on my channel. But I just dropped a video about Little Double Inside. So never going to do grounded.
That's what you do. But that's what you do, though.
No, I highlight good small games. Good.
How do you know
keyword
that's not good,
is good.
But how do you know that's not
say it with me now?
Say it with him. Good.
But Slow-mo,
good.
You don't know if it's good. Didn't play it.
Exactly. People. You sound like
I will never know.
The Last of Us.
I will never know.
I'm never gonna know.
I'm never gonna know because I'm never gonna play. By fact, you guys make a video about it. You guys show me how good it is. Okay.
Forte Slow-mo. That's the premise of your channel.
No. It's not. I don't highlight bad games.
Hey, man, 70% said yes, 30% said no.
That was a poll. And I did not agree to that poll. I didn't say I was going to do it. I don't have to do it. I'm a free black man. A free black man said I ain't been doing no videos on Grounded.
Oh my God.
Y'all crazy, man. I love you guys. Chat has been awesome. Mooch, you're awesome. Whole panel's awesome. Slow-mo. You guys have a great night. I'm out.
Yo, appreciate that, Slow-mo. Thank you so much. And then I've got the man. I think Brap was just keeping Slow-mo hostage through that outro the whole time. He was. He was like, you can't leave. No, not yet. Not yet. No, not yet. Yo, Brap, when are we getting back? You know when we're getting back on? Warzone? Tomorrow when I'm streaming it, baby. We're streaming Warzone. Let people know where they can find you, brother. Thanks for being here tonight.
No, absolutely. Pleasure. And let me tell you, a great conversation with Halo. Really,
wasn't it?
Yeah, it's funny because I think I've been on here a couple weeks, and I see people say, "Oh, you guys just hate Xbox," but we were talking about the love that we have for this franchise, and it was an hour and a half conversation, and that to me is the love that we have for gaming, right there.
That's right,
and it really was a great conversation. I mean, it was probably one of the better conversations I've had about Halo in a long time.
Absolutely,
yeah, and I will say this. We didn't get too much detail with The Last of Us Part 2.
Right.
And Mooch, I can't wait for you to finish the game.
I'm gonna finish it this weekend, and I'll talk to some of you guys behind the scenes, see who's interested. Yeah. But I think in the middle of the week, I kind of want to do a quick 45-minute hour pod, and we'll do a podcast on we'll do a spoiler podcast. Yeah. Really get our emotions out there. Everybody will know it's a spoiler event, but you're gonna get our hearts poured out, right? I mean, I am I'm taking notes, man. I'm playing. I have my notebook out. I mean, part of it's for reviews and such, but I'm also just writing down what I'm thinking, what I'm seeing, just things that happen, and I want to bang these ideas off of you guys in the community. So,
Mooch, I will say this: it is, for me at least as a gamer, very powerful, and I'm still digesting my experience. I just beat the game yesterday. I'm still thinking about this game 24 hours later. And
that's why you and at least 500 other people have said that now. And I'm like, what the hell's going on at the end of this game that I gotta see? Like, it's driving me crazy. Like, you have no idea. Like, literally, the minute I'm done with this show, you will see me turn on the PlayStation and I will be playing The Last of Us probably again until 3. Between doing the review, the podcast, work, and everything else that's been going on, I was like, you know what? I've literally only been doing like 2-3 hour chunks. I'm probably at a little bit over 50% of the game. So I got another 15 hours. I don't know how much I got left, but I got to get it done. I will get it done by Sunday because I want to talk about it in depth next week.
Yeah, it's amazing. But on that note, Mooch, always a pleasure. You can find me at on the Twitters at Brap_podcast, and every Wednesday night on YouTube at the Basement Radio Arcade Podcast, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Me, Slow-mo, Forte, Gabe. I kind of just forgot my panel members. B Money,
Eric Jackson.
Thank you for
looking forward to it, Enrique. Yes, love it. Shout out to Noof Nukem. He's in the chat. Boom, boom, kaboom. He made a stop by. It's awesome to have Noof here as well. Brap, honestly, the Brap show is just doing phenomenal, and it's great that you guys just keep adding talent. You got one of the greatest panels. I love having the guys Brap on this show because just so much gaming discussion, and you guys have great banter, so I truly enjoy it, and I'm glad you keep that up, man. And then I've got Noximus, the man from New York, who's not working tonight. He's probably going back into Destiny. Maybe he's playing The Last of Us again. Who knows what's going on? Nox, so much passion, so much emotion, buddy. Let people know where they can find you.
Always right here in Nox We Trust on YouTube, right here. My shit, always, the next podcast, Xbox channel right here, the Mooch. The mooches jump off. Wherever Noximus, wherever I haunt, wherever I creep at, that's where I bees at.
Nice.
You know what I mean? But
where's Chauncey?
Oh, Chauncey, he's chilling. He laying low. He playing The Last of Us, bro. He's into that shit. Woo. You know what I mean? I don't blame him.
It's great. Knox, thank you so much, guys. And then shout out real quick to the super chat, last super chat here. True Woody says, how do you think the Xbox July show will be? Love the show. True Woody, we gave our opinions on it earlier. We do think it's going to be a good show, a very good show. It's going to be a strong show. I think Microsoft knows they have to put a strong show out there. I think the entire panel agrees upon that. Now the idea is they're going to have games. Now the question is, how good are the games? That's the question. We know they have 15 studios. We know they've been working on it for a while. We know we're going to get a sneak peek. But now the question, because every time I say that, they're like, but Mooch, 15 studios. Well, I mean, Mooch and Crap can have a studio. Doesn't mean we're making a good game. Probably not. Right? So Microsoft bought Mooch and Crap. You don't want to play our game. So my boy, right?
Buy that for $1.
Thank you. It would only be $1 on Game Pass. But that's the point. Guys, we'll wrap it up tonight. Thank you to the Super Chat. Thank you to the chat. Thank you to the Mooch Maniacs. Thanks to the great, amazing panel tonight. And guys, we will be back next Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Please do check it out. And check out Mooch on Twitch. I'm really trying hard, and we are doing so well. We have like 30, 40 people showing up, which on YouTube is like 1 million people. It's great. So go over there and subscribe. It's the same thing as it is here on YouTube. It's the Mooch78 on Twitch as well. Guys, have a great night, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.